What's up, people? Welcome. I know I'm a couple of minutes early in here, but you guys can get a chance to get on in here. I send out enough notices, so at least I give about 40 minutes of advance notice to this. I told everybody an hour, but it is what it is, right? So I'm gonna give a few minutes for everybody to get up in here. I'm glad you're first NC Bigs. Welcome. I'm going to take this. This video will be taking you to the next level of it all. I really don't talk to too many people about this level, but those of you in the SMD family and those of you on the spiritual side too, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. If you're new to the channel, I'm not going to really explain what I'm saying, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, this is all I want you to just follow the mathematics. Okay. Just follow the math. All right. What's up, Mark Hyphy, King of Kings? Welcome. DTN, Uber Guy, Norvell. What's up, bro? Patrick Young, what's going on? Welcome. Get in here. I'm going to give about a total of 2 minutes. So we still got about 45 seconds. Get in here. This is going to be one unlike any other, because I'm going to just tell you guys what it is. All right. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. All right. I'm just going to tell you what I see, and you guys can take it for how you want to take it. What's up, Jennifer? All right, 10 more seconds, then we're going to get started. All right. All right, welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. Welcome to the SMD family. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% conscious, debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in credit and debt and finance and everything under the sun. As long as they stay in debt, they get rewarded with what's called a credit score. All right. So people worship the credit gods, Equifax, TransUnion, and the last one, Experian. Okay. All right. So I'm here to help people out of that by exposing what I call the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet nobody ever questions it, right? Nobody ever wonders, why do millions of people believe it's normal to go to college for 4 years but carry your student loans for 20? See, that doesn't make any mathematical sense. That's called a glitch in the debt matrix. So I expose those things for people to see, and I prove everything with mathematics. All right, so was I born this way? No, I wasn't born this way. Okay, I didn't wake up till about age 40 when something, and this leads me into the title of this video. I was actually prepared for this. Okay, so for 20 years of my life, 20, 25, somewhere around there, I was a computer engineer, a successful computer engineer. And when I say successful, in the debt matrix, 6 figures equals successful. Okay. I didn't know this at the time, but I had the nice car, the nice furniture, apartment, nice secured, whatever, right? And I was paying top dollar for it. I owned any of it, none of it. And I was double in debt. My yearly salary, I was double that in debt, okay? But yet I thought I had money when I didn't have any money. Still lived paycheck to paycheck, making $160,000 a year. When I think back at it now, I remember about age 42. I remember I used to walk into my apartment in my nice building, and I was still not satisfied. I could not explain that. Right? I remember literally standing in my nice apartment saying, how come I'm not satisfied? I don't get it. I make 6 figures. I got a nice apartment, a nice car. I still couldn't figure out what was this inside of me that was still bugging me. I couldn't figure that out, right? But I didn't know how to change it. And Then that led me to start thinking about my job, right? I started thinking like, am I going to work here till I'm 65, 70 years old and then I'm going to enjoy life? Right. This is what I started. This is what was happening inside of me. And I couldn't explain it, but I still didn't have the answer. I still couldn't figure it out. The only thing I did was yell in the car to the universe, I do not accept this. This cannot be the way my life ends. That's what I said to myself. And I said it out loud too. I remember I was in my car because I'd have been too embarrassed to be standing outside the car saying, and people would have labeled me crazy. Who's that crazy dude talking to himself, right? I would have did that if I saw somebody saying, "Hey, I don't accept this." I would have thought, "Oh man, he must be about to go suicide or postal if he doesn't accept life the way it is," right? But people outside in the world, they wouldn't understand what I would have really meant by that. I just accepted for myself. I was thinking, there is no way my life is to get up, go to work, go home, get up, go to work, go home, get up, go to the gym, go home, get up, go to work, go to gym, go home, whatever, right? I said, no way do I accept that. I still didn't have the answer. I just said I didn't accept it. Next thing you know, I was pushed towards Dave Ramsey. Okay. And those of you who don't know, look him up. He is a person, without even knowing it, saved my life. He changed my life and saved my life. And I didn't even know it. I remember going to his page, listening to him. I forgot exactly because I didn't even know what to look for to solve this thing that was bugging me in my head. Remember, when you're in a debt matrix, you think there is no way out and you believe debt is just part of life. That's when you're seriously in a debt matrix. Once you believe that, I just refused to accept it. So I started Googling debt. I didn't even know what I was looking for. I was just Googling stuff. And then I came across Dave Ramsey and I started listening to him. Here's this white guy from Tennessee with the Southern drawl. You know, I had to get all that. Oh, he's white. He's privileged. I had to remove all that stuff, the prejudice, this is for only white people. I had to remove it all and paid attention to the mathematics. Even when Dave Ramsey starts talking about his religion and stuff, hey, that was irrelevant to me. It didn't matter what I believed. If he was a Christian, not a Christian, none of that mattered. All I did was pay attention to the mathematics. And when he made that look so simple, I was like, he's just using basic grade school math. You mean to tell me I'm a college educated, successful computer engineer and I didn't know how to use basic math on my finances? I was so mad. Ooh, I was so mad at myself. I was mad at myself. But that part didn't come till after. Once I started believing Dave Ramsey, I just followed the plan, got out of debt, right? Once I got to zero, my whole life changed. My whole entire life changed. That's when I started getting mad at myself. Because I realized at that moment, you mean that's all I had to do was just use mathematics on my finances and that was it? That was it, Linnell. That was it. That's it. That's it. And then you can be as rich as you want to be. There is no limit. You know how mad I was at myself? I was mad. Ooh, I was mad for a long time. That took me about 6 months to get over. Didn't know why, but once I got out of debt, I figured out that was the answer. Changed my life. Then the next step came was this. I remember to the point to where I quit my job. 160 grand a year. This is what happened. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what happened. I remember I was in my cubicle. I'm reading a document on the next upgrade of this particular software, right? Something, and here I am, just like, because I worked with a software called VMware, all right? And I was very good at it, very good. Loved the software, loved it, right? Loved that part of the virtualization, loved it. One day I was reading the upgrade manual inside my cubicle. I still remember it to this day. Inside my cubicle, I'm like, okay, this is new. This is new. And then something stopped me and said, just like this, you're not interested in that bullshit anymore. And I don't even cuss, but I'm telling you what happened in my head. Can you guys hold, please? Sorry about that. Unexpected delivery. God, where was I at now? I hate it when I lose my spot. You guys remember where I was at? Let's just start at the Dave Ramsey part because I can't remember it. Oh, no, the next part after that. Okay, so I remember when I'm sorry for pausing, guys, because I got to think back at those moments. So you guys can feel what it was. I'm going to give you an idea of what it felt like. So I remember when I first quit my job. No, I got to take it back a step even more. I don't want to skip any steps. It's very hard to remember sometimes. All right, back to the when I said BS, okay? The BS to the software part, right? I remember thinking to myself, then what am I going to do if I'm not interested in this anymore? And then I tried to ignore the voice and go back to reading it, and it came on and said, you're not interested in this shit anymore. Then I couldn't read it anymore. I couldn't sit down and read the documentation, which I had done over and over for years of my life to be successful in my career. This is when I was debt free. I still worked a year when I was debt free. That last year, my whole job changed because I don't want to skip into the story if I keep bouncing back and forth. But this is important to tell you. I was prepared for this time right now that we're in. This is why that feeling was so strong. It would not stop. When I tried to reread that manual, it just said, I just told you you're not interested in this anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. It was the weirdest thing. But at the same time, the other voice was saying, hey, what else are you going to do? You can't do anything else. This is all you know. This is all you know. But the other voice was saying, you're not interested in that anymore. But the other voice wouldn't tell me why. So I had to just believe it. I just had to believe the voice. Hey, you need to come this way. For what? Where are we going? Don't worry about that. So I remember that last year in the job, man, I started seeing all the things that my job was taking for advantage of me, just stealing my time, just not even stealing, because I don't want to blame a business. A business is a business, but I was giving away the time in my life for free, letting them call me when they want. My time became the most important thing to me. And I was like, wait a minute, you guys, if you guys call me anytime you wish, that's pretty much saying you own me for 24 hours of the day. Yes, Linnell, that is exactly right. That's what the voice is saying. Yep, you're right. Linnell, what's the purpose of an on-call rotation if they still call you even outside their on-call rotation? What's the purpose of that? Exactly, Linnell. That's what the voice was telling me. They're taking it, you're giving away the time of your life for free. I put a stop to that. That stopped. Then the last day, and it was a bunch of things, just the way the managers, I was noticing the way the managers and people were talking to me. I said, hey, don't talk to me like that. Hey, hey, manager, if you schedule a meeting, you got to show up on time too. You can't just make me wait. You just walk in 15 minutes late and I got to sit there and wait for you. Nuh-uh, you don't get to do that. If you schedule a meeting, you better be here on time too. If you're not, I'm leaving. And then if you call me and ask me where I'm at, I'm going to say you're late. That's why I left. Just because all your stuff get pushed back don't mean you get to come into my time. That doesn't happen. No, sir, that doesn't happen. My friends, during meetings, everybody would write, check this out. People in meetings at work, they just be quiet because they don't want to rock the boat, right? I get it. The only people in debt have to do that. When I got out of debt, I didn't care. I'm like, hey, this is a business. I get to talk about anything I want to do about business. So managers would promise something, right? And then the next meeting comes, they don't even mention it. It's like they never said it the week before that they were going to do something that was going to do something, right? And then you come into the next meeting, nobody will raise their hand and say, hey, manager, what about the solution to the problem last week that you talked about? You didn't bring it up, right? Everybody would write down a note, because I was debt free the last year. Write down on a piece of paper and hand me the piece of paper to ask each and every question that needed to be asked. I had no problem doing that. Hey, manager, what about this week? What's that? Okay. What about this? Okay. All right. Thank you. You're no longer scared to do stuff like that. And this is the biggest thing. At work, one day I'm sitting in my cubicle It was a nice sunny day. I still remember the day. My cubicle was about maybe about two cubicles away from the actual window to see outside, right? But I was faced towards the window. And I remember I was sitting in my desk and something said, get up, walk to the window, and just look out. Look out at this beautiful day. Look at all this. I'm translating because I know what it is today, but look at all this freedom. I'm looking out this window because it was an undeveloped area in this particular area I worked. Nothing was developed. It was just trees and grass, nothing, no freeways, nothing. And something said, look out the window and look at all this freedom. And you're in here, Linnell, and look at all that freedom. It's time for you to quit. That's what the voice said to me. It's time for you to quit your job. I was like, what? I'm having this whole conversation in my head. What do you mean quit my job? What am I going to do? What about what, Linnell? You have no bills, you have no debt, and you have money in the bank. What about what? What's stopping you now? That's exactly what it was. What's stopping you now? All your debt's paid for, you have no debt, and you have stacks of dough in the bank. What's preventing you from quitting your job? I couldn't say a word. Couldn't say a word. Nothing but me. Guess what? I quit. People thought I was nuts. People thought I was nuts. Before I quit that job, I forgot. I moved out of my fancy high rise, moved into a room in my sister's house. At 40 something years old, sold my car, bought me an old truck. People thought I was smoking meth. Is LJ on crack? I had to ignore all the people in debt. Ignore them all. I don't care what you say, people in debt. You're slaves. I quit my job. People were asking me, what you going to do? Check this out. People would ask me, LJ, what are you going to do? You know what I turned to them and said? I don't know. You should have saw the look on some people's faces. I even had a couple people say, I wish I could do that. You know what I turned to them and said? I said, you can. I can show you how. You know what they said? I don't want to hear that. Right there, I knew I was on to something, but I didn't know yet. I still didn't know. What you gonna do, Linnell? I said, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. You going to get another job? I ain't getting another job. What are you gonna do? I keep telling you, I don't know. They thought I was crazy. I swear they probably was checking my arm for needle marks. Because if you tell the average person that, you're nuts for doing that. But hey, you're listening to voices in your head. Oh, you're crazy. But my math kept coming out right. So I knew it was the only thing that was keeping me from saying that was crazy talk, mathematics. Is the math right? Yep, that's the correct direction to go. So about the first 1 to 6 months, I was going through withdrawals. Now, let me tell you what withdrawals mean. I thought, even though I didn't have to worry about a job, I started getting nervous that I was going to lose all the years of knowledge that I built up as a computer engineer. I kept thinking, man, if I stay out long, I'm gonna be behind the times. Technology's going to pass me up. All these things just go on your head. That's that voice you don't want to listen to. It's powerful, but you got to recognize that it's talking. Hey man, what if you lose your skills, man? You know, you've been 20 years in. What about your 401k retirement? What about medical? What about this? It's just yip, 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 yip. It never stops. I had to ignore it. So during that time, I kept applying for jobs. I got nervous a few times. I was like, oh no, man, I can't do it, man. And even though I didn't have no worries of financial problems at all, I was applying for jobs, and guess what? I was getting none of them. Not one person called me and said, hey, we want to hire you. That has never happened to me in my whole entire career. Any job I wanted, I always got. But this time I was getting none. That started getting me down, man. I was like, ooh, man, what is up? I know I'm good at what I do. Nope. And then it got me kind of depressed a little bit because they was all telling me no. But then I had to step outside of that and say, there's a reason for that. Every time something happened that was unexplainable, I used to always go, there's a reason for that. And then after about 6 to 8 months, I finally let it go. I finally let go of LJ tied to the systems engineer with a computer degree, all that stupid nonsense that I thought. I had to strip myself of that. You know how hard that was? That was very difficult. That was very difficult. I ain't gonna front to you. That was very difficult to strip myself of LJ, Linnell Young, the computer engineer. And I still wasn't given the answer. But I started getting the answer because this is what happened. When I got out of debt, the first thing you want to do is tell all your friends and family, hey, I found the answer how to become a millionaire. I found it. And then you tell them, you say, what is it? What's the answer? Use mathematics and get out of debt. Everybody thought I was crazy. Then I would go, wait a minute, I can prove it to you right here. Let's do it on your calculator so you know I'm not trying to trick you. They still didn't try to hear it. When I first got out here, I helped about maybe 5 people. They still thank me to this day. Still thank me to this day. Because it's never going to stop. I can change your life forever. Forever. I can make this never happen to you again. This financial situation you're in right now, during this type of catastrophe, this is a whole new level of catastrophe. There's a reason for it. There's always a reason. When you see it, man, this makes no sense. That's a sign of something to tell you. The reason why it doesn't make sense to you, because there's something about it that you don't understand. That's exactly what it means. I knew I was on to something when there was something I could prove that I was correct and people still didn't believe me. I would say, uh-oh. Okay, there's something there. But then I just use myself. I'm like, Linnell, what are you trying to get them to do? Trying to help them feel what you feel when you're no longer a slave, the feeling of true financial freedom. It's not $1 million. It's not $1 billion. It's zero. Walk up to somebody in debt, and I'm gonna give you an example of what it feels like to be living in this world of mine right now. You could walk up to say like you paid off all your debt and you finally got to zero. I dare you to go up to somebody in debt and say, hey man, I'm so happy. I have a net worth of zero. I guarantee you they'll look at you like you are freaking nuts. Zero? Why are you bragging about having a net worth of zero? They don't know they're in debt. That's when I knew this was my gift. That's the moment I knew it was my gift. In the beginning, maybe 1 or 2 people understood me, but my friends and family, they have no idea, not a clue. Even when hey man, you know I love you, right? Yeah. This is how you become financially free. What? Not everybody else don't do that. I know that. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself. So I had to let them go. When you get to this level, you can't hear. I could no longer hear the constant debt talk. That's why I had to leave work, because you guys have no idea how much debt talk is at work. You guys have no idea. I had to leave that environment. And then I had to let go of the people in my life that always talk in debt and don't know they're talking debt. You can't be around those kind of people. So you got to let them go. It won't matter who they are. It can be your close family, mama, daddy, son, daughter. Don't matter who it is. Debt is the colorblind slave master. But those few I helped, I told them some things that kind of blew them away, but they did it. And once they did it, they were free. And then they came back and told me, Linnell, Had I known this, I'd have paid you 10 times your price. I was totally prepared for this, man. And I prepared those few people that believed in me back in the beginning. They believed me back then. That's when I knew I was onto something. I knew it. I knew this was my gift. I could do something out in the open, help a few people, but the majority still didn't see it. I was like, I feel like Neo in the debt matrix right now. You can walk up to I can walk up to somebody in debt and say, you know, you're not a homeowner if you have a mortgage. They will fight you. That's what I feel like. That's why I feel like I'm in the debt matrix. When you could tell somebody something that you can mathematically prove to be true and they still don't believe you, they don't even hear themselves. That's why I feel like Neo. Hey, you know, if you don't pay off that student loan debt, you're going to die with it. Yeah, so what? See what I mean? You don't care if you die with debt. You know you're going to be a slave if you do that, right? Hey, I'm not a slave. Why not? Because you think you own the stuff you're financing? I know. That's why. That's what slaves think. That's how they think. I was one of them for the first 40 freaking years of my life. I'm so embarrassed. You guys have no idea how embarrassed I am. I'm embarrassed of myself. I've been messing around. I've been messing around in the debt matrix when I could have been a millionaire years ago. I would have had a job 10 years maximum in my life. 10 years maximum. This is why I go so hard, because the people that I brought over on the other side, they can see it clearly. They all say the same thing. They don't know that, damn, man, had I known this at this age, had I known this then, it doesn't matter as long as you know it now. I was getting prepared for this moment. Didn't even know it. Didn't even know I was being prepared for this moment. I had no idea this was going to happen. Not a clue. On my way up, I'm starting to understand how money works, how taxes can help you become a freaking millionaire, and I didn't even know that. Here I am stuck in the debt matrix all my life. Taxes are bad. Taxes are the one to keep me down. Taxes are too high. They keep taxing us for this. They keep taxing us for that. I didn't know that's only a problem for people in debt. You get out of debt, you'd be like, oh, now I see the purpose of taxes. Oh, that's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. Okay. It is just, but I thank God every day, man. Had I been in debt in a situation like this, ooh, people in debt are getting buried. They're getting buried so deep in debt right now. You guys have at an all-time high. But at the same time, the majority don't even realize this is a game changer. It's a game changer. If you lose your job, you lose everything. Let everything. And I'm gonna just say it. You can file Chapter 7 and be free. You lose everything right now, you got a guaranteed Chapter 7. Guaranteed. You can be free. That's right. Right now, when I'm hearing all this stuff, I gotta unplug from that stuff. I gotta unplug from that. I have to unplug for that so I can concentrate on seeing what's really going on. All you got to do is this: listen to the people in the debt matrix. Everybody, hey, the feds lowered this, the feds lowered the percentage rate, the feds did this, the feds did that, the feds. You always hear people say that. This is what I want you to. The next time you hear somebody say that, I want you to ask them this: who are the feds? Anybody that starts talking about, hey man, the feds did this, you ask them, who are the feds? Guarantee you nobody will ever know. Nobody knows who that is. Nobody. You think I paid attention what the feds really meant when I was in the debt matrix? I had no reason to. There's absolutely, if you're in debt, don't even worry about who the feds are. I'm just telling you that right now. If you are in debt, don't know who the feds are, don't worry about it. You're in debt. You're never going to even understand that in a million years. Never. If you're in debt, don't even worry about understanding what I mean by taxes, save money in taxes. Don't even worry about it. You'll never be able to see it. It's mathematically impossible for you to see it. There's a clear hierarchy in the system, and the Federal Reserve is at the top of the chain, period. They control everything. Once I got out of debt, I could see that. Once I got out of debt, I remember being in the debt matrix, and people, I used to hear every now and then, I used to hear people say something like this. You know, money's not real, right? You know, it's just paper, right? You know, it's not real, right? You know, it's just paper, right? And then you see a stack in your hand and you can buy anything you want. So you don't have no idea what that crazy person is talking about. What do you mean money's not real? I have it right here. That's what everybody says. It's not real for people in debt like me. When I was first 40 years of my life, I had absolutely no idea money did not exist for me. Didn't have a clue. I always give this example so you guys can understand this. If you had $1,000 cash in your hand and $50,000 in student loan debt, 1,000 minus 50,000 is negative 49,000. Math says that $1,000 is not even there. Now it's up to you to believe the math. That's why I feel like Neo in the debt matrix. The reason why I said stripped of my job title, because I forgot to finish that. Right now, people are being stripped of that job title right now. They're getting fired. They're getting laid off. Right now, you're being stripped of it. People are being forced to figure out who they are now. This is what the awakening part is. This is why I was prepared for this, because I was stripped of my title. All this was voluntary that I did, right? But I had to it took me a year to strip myself of the job title until it was finally gone. Now it's being forced upon millions. Now they're being forced to say, damn, I've been there 30 years with the title of XYZ. Now that title is gone. Now who am I? Who am I? And it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a big gigantic movie star. That's taken away now. It's gone. Everybody's is gone. Doesn't matter what level of career you have. Everybody's on the same playing field now, baby. Everybody. Nobody's above anybody. Everybody now has to look at themselves. Who am I without being at that job? Now, some are going to panic and some are going to wake up. Most are going to be like, oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, who am I? And then there's going to be others going to be like this. Who am I? Who am I without that job title? And if this is you, if you want to figure out right now, who am I? Right now, you file Chapter 7 and you'll be free. And then you'll figure out who you are. I promise you, right now is the time. If you feel you're at your lowest right now, no, you're not. This is the best time to be free. It's totally up to you. Or get rid of all the debt, because student loans don't go away from Chapter 7. Bankruptcy. But imagine if you got another job and all you had was student loan debt. How fast do you think you can pay that student loan debt off then with no other bills? Exactly. This is why I feel like Neo in the debt matrix, because I can say this out loud and the majority of people won't even hear me. Don't even hear me. This wakes up people in many ways, not just debt. It's more than just, this is big. This is huge. Like I said in the other video, they're going to pay attention to teachers. Man, teachers do a lot of work. How much do they get paid? That's it. And once these parents figure out how much work they put in, that's going to change. That's changing. You better believe that's changing. Right now, this is where the scammers come out. Right now is when the scammers are going to take full advantage of most emotionally ran people right now. Scammers. This is their I feel sorry for people in debt right now. I do, in many ways, not only because of the coronavirus, their finances, but now here come the scammers. Because scammers are ruthless. They make the most money during time of disaster. Can you imagine what they're doing right now? I can only imagine what they're doing right now. By the way, so just in case, if you want to understand how easy it is to spot a scammer, anything they say will never, ever, ever make mathematical sense, ever. It can't. It's a scam. They can't do that. They're there to rip you off. So whatever they're doing will never make mathematical sense. That's how to tell it's a scam. But when you're wrapped up in your emotions and desperate, it's sad that's going to happen. It's just sad. Mm. But the economy runs on debt. It does. If people were smart, they would allow this time. I mean, only like what people's going through what's called quarantine right now. This is how I usually live my life anyway. This is not, being in a house like this is not a change for me. It's not. I've been like this. Me and my girl been together like this for like 3 years already. 3 years. This is going to force people that may have been fooling around on their partner, doing something else, hiding this, hiding that. Now they can do none of that. Now they got to be in the house and be with this person. They're going to find out a couple of things, that they really want to be with them. The reason why are they being with them for money? All that's taken off the table, because there will be no money coming in. All of it will be taken off the table, and all they will be able to do is focus in on themselves. Now they're forced. No other distractions. They can't, not even work. Nobody can daddy can say, oh man, what am I going to do, man? I got to be at work and this and that. No, you're not. There is no work. You can't even leave the house. Now what are you going to do? Now you're going to figure out. A lot of people are going to wake up. I was prepared for this and didn't even know it. Didn't even know it. I was prepared for this, man. And thank God I helped about those few people that I helped in the very beginning. Oh man, I know, hey, they reach out to me and they tell me, man, LJ, man, if I had been in debt, this would have been horrible for me. Now it's more just like an inconvenience. I'm talking about the financial part. I can't even imagine this time. Imagine having student loan debt and knowing after all this is over, after all this, people dying of this disease, people going in debt, guess what's going to be waiting for you on the other freaking side? Student loan debt. I couldn't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that. Student loan debt is the cockroaches of any fallen economy, Student loan debt. Oh yeah, nonstop. It's about the divorce is about to go through the roof. Through the roof. And guess who's going to come out on top when the lawyers get paid? Guess which ones are going to come out on top? The ones that survived this by not being in debt in the first place. They're going to clean those lawyers right there. They're going to clean house. Those debt-free lawyers, those debt-free divorce lawyers, oh, they're about to clean house. They're the only ones that are going to survive it. So you debt-free divorce lawyers, you guys already probably, I don't know if you knew this or not. If you're paying attention, if you unplug yourself from what's going on, unplug, you say, okay, when this is over, because it's going to be over, the human race is not going to end. You come over here and be like, all right, divorce is going to be high. I'm ready for it, because they're going to come in. And guess what, this lawyer, he's going to be able to name his or her price. Aren't your prices normally this? Yeah, but not now. Not for the next 5 years. It's going to be this price. Mm. Right now, it's about helping people. Right now, I can make sure this never happens to you again, ever. I can make sure it never happens again, ever. You're probably thinking, well, how can you do that? I can prove it with mathematics. I can prove it. I can prove to you that I can help you make sure you're never caught up in this situation again, financially, ever. You will always be prepared, always, financially, always. Some of you, I just tell, some of you call me and just, hey man, I need your advice on this. And then I just tell you. Some of you need a plan, right? Right now, hey, should I be paying off debt? I'm not even talking about paying off debt right now. I can show you how to make sure when this time is over, I can tell you right now what to do if you don't know what to do to make sure this never happens to you again. Each person's financial situation is different. I personally don't care. If you're in debt, you're in debt. I can say, don't do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, and you'll be free. All you got to do is follow it. Now I'm going to answer some questions up in here. All right, I'm going all the way back. Sorry, you guys. Jennifer says, you had a bigger purpose in life. You're right, Jennifer. And you know what, Jennifer? You know what's crazy? You're about the third person that has told me that within a week. Shout out to you. Shout out to DTN for the donation. Much appreciated. DTN, Ulysses, for those of you who don't know who he is, much appreciated. Thank you, sir. CA says, do you believe in good debt? I don't believe putting adjectives on words to describe debt. Debt is just debt. There is no such thing as good debt. There is no such thing as bad debt. When you hear somebody say that to you, they're just telling you how they feel about their own debt. Okay? Because one thing could be good debt for somebody, and one thing could be a different kind of good debt. It's just a description. It's just debt. Don't ever put adjectives on debt. Mark says to be free is the only thing. The only thing. That's why right now, if they quarantine, that my life really doesn't change. It's been like this for the last 4 years. They're just naming it to me. I'm like, damn, they're naming what I do called quarantine now. Okay, whatever. Mecca says, you absolutely right. All they know is dead. I swear I thought like that, but people made me see like seem like I was crazy. Yeah, but they're the ones that are in debt. That's why they think you're crazy, Mecca. That's why I feel like Neo in the debt matrix. But I enjoy having this type of gift. I can help anybody become free. Anybody. All they got to do is listen and believe mathematics. Hey, this is the math. Yeah, you see it? Do you see the same thing I see? Yeah, okay, that's what you do. That's the price of your slave papers right there. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Once you believe that number, you'll be free like me. And situations like this will never bother you again, ever. Jaws 2003 says, exactly, guys. I am home today with son, especially when he's considered high risk for the virus. Even my ex and I are having a big disagreement. She lives in a place that has the highest rates. Of course, the more populated area you're in, the higher the chances are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's highly populated. Highly populated. Okay. Yeah. DTN says Jaw 2003. She's in the debt matrix. Yeah. Glad you got out, LJ. Hey, man. I thank God every day that I listen to that voice inside of me. When everybody thought I was crazy. What are you doing that for, LJ? I said, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I know it's the right direction. Even to this point, to where I'm at today, I listen to what the voice inside of me. He got me here today. He or she, it. Sneaker Life says, same. I'm beyond embarrassed. Yeah. See, and you see the way. Wait, hold on. Let me turn some AC on. It's getting warm. 1 second. Sneaker Life says, I'm beyond embarrassed. I am. To know how easy it was to become a multi-millionaire, I'm so embarrassed. All I had to do was learn the math that I learned in grade school. That's it. That's all it took. And you know what's so crazy? I knew it. I knew it. Something inside of me always said to me, man, you're supposed to be a millionaire. You're supposed to be a millionaire. And I used to, then the other voice said, oh man, everybody says that. Everybody says that. No, but I meant it. I meant it. I didn't know how. I didn't know how. I didn't have the answer, but I knew it. But I just couldn't figure out how. This is the answer. And you're probably thinking, oh, because of your business? No, because I got out of debt. You could be rich with a regular job. You could be rich with a regular job. Mark says purpose is the only thing that matters. Ill Will says, you fired up today, preach that sermon, brother, preach. Hey man, right now in a time like this, it's time for me to be 100% myself. When you guys go over and see Best Version Motivation's channel, he'll go deeper than that. He'll go way deeper than me. I don't really talk that level to people. Today I am. That's the only reason why I'm here today, because I listen to that voice. The voice that people making in the debt matrix, whatever matrix you want to say, make it sound like that's the crazy voice. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the right voice. Like this whole thing that's going on, in order for me to unplug, this is what I got to do. I get off of social media. People that's DM me about this stuff, I say, you got to stop doing that. I know empty shelves, people dying, this, that, the president said this. Stop telling me. You're too deep. You can't decipher between fake and real. It's too late. You're gone. Stop talking to me about it. And then I even got to tell my girlfriend. She understands. Hey, baby, you're starting to talk to me about it. I got to stay focused. There's more people than ever that need me more right now. And if I succumb to all what's going on right now, they won't be able to hear me. So I got to stay focused. I have to stay focused. I don't care how people feel. Like, I don't care. Like, oh, Linnell, you don't care what's going on in the news. I'm not saying that, but I don't need to hear it every day. I already know what's happening. I don't need to hear it every day. Stop talking to me about it. So I can, because if you get caught up in there, and let me tell you something, those of you that follow me, if you're getting immersed inside of that stuff, you're missing the purpose for this whole thing. You're missing it because you turn this way. Here's another one, another state, another doing this, another doing that. Who's dying? This and that. Oh my God, the finance is up. Should I finance a house? Should I do a car? You get caught up in that. You got to stop. You got to turn around and say, what's going on over here? That's where I'm at, because there's people that need me. There's people out there right now suffering. They don't know how to get out until they come to this channel. Like right now, there's successful. It doesn't even matter what type of person, right? There's people wandering around in the debt matrix that clearly understand that there's something wrong, but they just can't put their finger on it until they get to this channel. Then they're going to say, that's it. You know how I know they're going to say that? Because my mathematics is going to make sense. Mark says, man, I'm chilling, taking a break. DTN says, looking back, I've been 10 years in corporate and I felt disappointed, definitely grinding to get out of debt matrix. Oh yeah, man, I'm so glad I listened to the voice. It started talking to me early 40s. Each time when somebody asked me, what you going to do, Linnell, what you going to, I kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. 2020 come. I remember saying this to myself. 2020 is going to be a big year for me. I kept saying that. 2020 is going to be a big year. And at the same time, in the spiritual groups, right, that I belong to on Instagram, there's going to be a big awakening happening. There's going to be a big awakening happening. Now, I've never experienced what they're talking about. I'm just listening. What do they mean by that? What do they mean by that? Bam. Only a virus could do that. There's not a war. There's not a financial collapse. Only a virus could do this kind of awakening. Only a virus. I'm here to wake those people up because everything, trust me, the people in the debt matrix, they want things to go back to normal. Okay, that's cool because this whole system would not work if the majority of people didn't believe in that. But there's going to be some scragglers over here saying, uh-oh, wait a minute. I listened to LJ. Now these millions of people talking about everything's going back to normal, but they're going to say, I don't like that normal because it's not normal. It's their normal. Normal is whatever you want it to be, not their normal. Ill Will says, my company, we are working from home. People want to chat about nothing. I'm taking it slow motion myself. Yeah. People working at home, but that's coming to an end. They're not going to be paying people to sit at home and do nothing. That's going to stop too. Oh, this is just beginning. This is just beginning. Only the core people, only the core people are going to be still employed. Electricity, water, things that you would die if you didn't have. Those are the people that are going to have jobs right now. Everybody else, sorry. What you going to do? You can't get mad and say, oh, this job treated me bad. You think you'll get another job? There are no jobs. What are you going to do? You see the cable companies right now. Hey, we're going to credit. We're not going to do late fees and this and that. Of course you're not, because nobody has no money to give to you anyway. Of course you're going to do that. What you mean? You ain't doing nobody no favor. It sounds like a favor though, don't it? Oh, we're going to freeze interest payments on student loans. We're gonna do this and that, and you have to. Nobody's going to be giving you any money anyway because nobody has no money. It's business. And they're still not telling you the whole story. I bet if you read a little deeper, they probably said, "Hey, we're going to take these non-payments and put them back, or we're going to break them up across your regular payments when things go back to normal." I wouldn't. But hey, it's going to be gone, or you just suspend it. I keep hearing the word suspend. We're going to suspend late fees. We're going to suspend this. What does suspend mean? What's that mean? You think people in fear and debt going to even pay attention to the word they're using, suspend? No, they're not going to pay attention to it. Just because they freeze student loan debt interest, you think people are going to run out and pay their student loans? No, they're not. Suspending interest means absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It just sounds good to people in panic. DTN says, can you file Chapter 7 on the vehicle? Nope, you wouldn't even want to do that anyway. Now, I'll take that back. You can. I wouldn't do that. Chapter 7 is for something very important, like a time like this. If you ever want to get out your upside down car, your upside down house, your collections, your whatever, anything but IRS debt and student loan debt, if you're in an FHA mortgage, right now is the time to let all that bull crap go and be free. Right now is the time. Right now. While you see the interest rates lowered, all the slaves are going to refinance their house so they can do what? Get money out of a house that they don't even freaking own. They're just handing them the shovel. Dig yourself deeper in the hole. You know how many people are going to keep up with their car payments during a time like this? Oh man, I can't let my car go. I can't let my car get taken. Are you insane? You better let that piece of junk, whatever. I don't care if it's a Lamborghini, Ferrari. If you're making payments on it, let that bull crap go right now. You think people are going to listen? Mm-mm. No. That sounds like pure insanity. Ill Will says, I'm home relaxing or studying, so the self-quarantine doesn't bother me. I don't need to be entertained constantly. I can watch black and white movies. I can't do that. I can't watch no black and white movies. I can't do that. Jaws 2003 says, all of this is a rude awakening for everyone. You all should see the number of people buying guns and ammo. It's not a rude awakening, Jaws. It's just an awakening, but it counts on how you look at it. If you think it's a rude awakening, then it's a rude awakening for you. But if it's a good awakening, it's a good one. It can be a very good one. It all counts on how you look at it. That's being out of debt. Let me tell you guys something. Being out of debt has me looking at things and people in a totally different way now. Totally different. Everything. DTN says, Linnell, people losing jobs and they just spent all their tax money on finance and furniture, phones and cars. Yep. What do you think is going to happen when they get that $1,000? $1,000? $1,000. What you think? You think they're going to drop that on some bills or something? What do you think they're going to put that on? Charles 2003 says, I like my guns. Even I don't feel fully prepared. You can forget buying 12 gauge. Look at everybody they're preparing themselves for what they've seen on the movies. Preparing themselves for it. Oh man, that's where it's going. First it's toilet paper, and then it's hand wipes and sanitizer. Now it's guns and bullets. People they just follow stuff. They just follow it. Oh man, I've seen that movie, man. I see. All you got to do is go to Netflix. That's contagious movies, virus movies are the highest movies on Netflix. They're just pumping themselves, pumping their heads full of what they're watching on movies, thinking it's going to be just like that. And if this is you, you're missing something. You're missing the whole picture. This is the time. I don't care what you do. This is the time you need to come see me. Right now is the time. Right now. Right now, you need to see me. You need to see me right now. This is going to be your one and only time. If you're at home, you don't know what to do. You lost your job. They cut your hours. You don't know what you're going to do. Right now is the time. Right now. Right now. Facts, Linnell, being like this is normal for me. I don't need constant entertainment either. There's no reason for it. You see people check it out. You see people on social media all up and some quarterback from the Patriots got traded and they're mad about it. You want to go, hey, you do know the coronavirus is happening, right? Who cares if he got traded? So what? People are arguing about that. Are you insane? That sounds like pure insane. That sounds like the ultimate gone slave ever. If you're arguing about sports in a time like this, that makes absolutely no sense to me. Mecca says, I'm an electrician and I'm still working. This shutdown got us working every day. Oh, yeah. Electrician right now, you're getting paid. Everybody needs electricity, especially if you're at home now a lot. Everybody needs it. Can you imagine the electricity consumption right now? Internet consumption? Divorces after quarantine going to be high? Yes. Babies too? Right. Baby mama drama. Do you think the news is causing the world to overreact? It probably is. I don't watch the news, DTN. I don't watch TV. I definitely don't watch the news, for sure. I barely watch any TV, let alone the news. Heck no. I saw that, DTN. I know I'm way behind on these texts or these things. Nonstop Dre says, do you think that people are working from home will stand up to their bosses and decide to work from home after the quarantine is over? Not if they're in debt, they won't. Only people not in debt would ever stand up to their boss, period. You can't be in debt. Like right now, if they say, hey, you can come back to work, like right now, businesses can get the cream of the crop for any price they want. If somebody's like was in a field of whatever speciality or whatever, right, and they was normally making $100,000 a year, they can get that person for $30,000 a year right now, 30 grand. Mecca says, now is it too smart to use this as time to settle debt? No. Nope. No, it's not. You still need a plan, though. Don't get me wrong. Now is the time to create a plan. Right now, it might not be necessary time to pay off debt, but right now is the time to have a plan created. Right now. So when this turns around, you're going to know exactly what to do to make sure you never be in this situation again, ever. DTN says, good to hear. Talking 2003. Mecca says, the government can only subsidize so much for the labor with unemployment. Oh, yeah, so much. All of it's limited. The Federal Reserve is coming in and saving the day. I never once paid attention to the Federal Reserve the way I pay attention to it now. I don't hear the word feds and just say, oh, they just did this. Never once questioning who that is. CA says, I remember debtors always wanting to keep their cars. They still will. You better believe all these car loan people, they are doing whatever it takes to make people keep their cars, because this would be the worst hit ever for anybody that holds a car loan right now. Any institution that's holding, especially high interest rate car loans, they're shaking in their pants right now. They're shaking in their pants right now. You better believe they're going, hey man, you don't have to pay your car note for 2-3 months, okay? You can keep it. You can don't worry about it. Get through this time. We know it's rough for you. We're going to hold that. And what they're going to do is just take those payments and put it on the back end of those notes. That's all they're doing. Mecca says, people thought I was crazy when I let my truck go 2 years ago. Oh yeah, they think you're nuts. That was probably you probably think yourself every day for letting that truck go. Guaranteed. Stop listening to people talking about, oh man, what about your credit? Your credit, if a repo's on your credit, oh, shut up. Mecca says, I looked at how much I paid for the truck over 2 years. I could have bought a house with cash. Yep. Nonstop says, I know a lot of older guys who are stressed out and annoyed by the wives' girlfriends being quarantined with them and waking up. Yeah, that goes for the man and woman. Trust me, there's no specialty privilege to either gender, men or women. They're gonna wake up and be like, damn, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't care about, I'm not going to stay here because of the kids. I'm not going to stay here because of your job. You ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. When this is over, I'm going to get me a job. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be from under you. That's what's going to happen. Believe that. Jason says, I was trying to explain to a friend that $1,000 that the government is going to give you is not really free money. You are already paid into the taxes. They're just giving it back to you. Right now, the Federal Reserve is providing this money. And now the government, which is us, now we owe the Federal Reserve. That's it. There's nothing more than that. That's it. Understand how, if you take the time to understand how it works, you'll say, oh, okay. And then you're going to ask yourself, who runs the Federal Reserve? Oh, that's a good question. That is a very, who does? I don't know. Who cares? But I tell you what, would I love to work for the Federal Reserve? You better be, you damn skippy. I wish I could. If they called me up and said, hey, L, we know that you can see, we want you to work for us, I would say, yes, I will work for you. I can only imagine. What they would show me that I still can't yet see. The things I can see now, just by becoming debt free, I can only imagine. If I work for the Federal Reserve, what they could show me, I'll be like, oh my God. That was always there? Yep. Was that there? Yep. What about that? Yep. That connects to that, makes this do that, and that does this. This has caused that. Oh man, I didn't know that. Nonstop says, I love this virus is exposing the fake and useless jobs like professionals. This virus, I want people to understand something. This virus, I don't want anybody to die. That's horrible. I don't care. Old, young, around the world. I don't care. Human beings to me, not just the United States, human beings to me. I don't want anybody to die. But what it is, just like Nonstop Dre, it's exposing. It's making people look at themselves. Discover that it's always been about themselves. If you want anything, you want to become a millionaire, you want to become this, you want to become that, it starts with you. This virus has removed all obstacles to prevent you from going to something saying, this is the reason why I can't do this. This is the reason why I can't do that. This is the reason why I can't do this, because nothing's there. Nothing's in your way. Now what? Now what? Now your job's not getting in the way. Now you know your kids better. Now what? Now what's your excuse now? It's going to force the people to say, if you don't do something right now, it can only be you, and it always has been. That's what the universe is saying. You know how many people are going to wake up from this? You guys have no idea. And guess what? Those people, once they find this channel, guess what? Oh man, the sky's the limit. They're going to come here and they're, whatever's in their head financially right now from waking up, it's going to be confirmed once they come to the SMD family right here. This is my time to shine bigger than ever. Now, I will shine above all the fakes on YouTube. All the fakes on YouTube, because guess what? They're going to be falling off. Here they go. Here's where it starts. Even with velocity banking, infinite banking, guess what? All that is going to vanish. It's going to vanish right before your eyes. All you non-believers right now that even believe in that velocity banking bull crap, guess what? There's nothing to borrow. You can't pay back anything with no job. All the fakes, the financial phonies, stockbrokers, all those people are about to fall off and disappear. All those fake financial real estate gurus that make, I got this many houses, and they were all dependent on that rent from all their houses that they own. Guess what? They're about to vanish. And you know why I smile? It's almost like, say, I want to tell you, say, I told you so, but it's not really even that. You're just going to come back and say, damn, LJ's math was right. Yeah. Guess who's still going to be here? Me. And everyone that's part of the SMD family right here. This is my time to shine. This is it. Did I know this was coming? Nope. But I was prepared for it. What I sell sells itself. I don't have to sell what I sell. I don't have to sell my gift. It sells itself. The gift that helps others help themselves forever, not temporarily, forever. You guys have no idea how those financial fakers, they are sweating bullets. They don't want to be exposed because you're going to see them. You're going to see them. Those pictures of cars and all that stuff, they're going to get less and less and less. The shoes, the shopping in the expensive stores, it's going to get less and less and less and less. They're going to be exposed. They're not going to be able to stop it. Then all the people in the debt matrix, they're going to be like, oh my God, I thought so-and-so was this and that. Yeah, that's what you thought. They're sweating bullets right now. Buckets. And if this is you that's been faking up to your eyeballs in debt, pretending to the world that you got money, I can even help you too. This is your time too. This is your time. You can change too. You can do the same thing you've been doing by fronting. I can make that turn into realistic. If you choose it to be. The choice is up to you. Leroy says, driving 18-wheeler and being debt-free. Keep up the good work. Education, LJ. You're welcome, Leroy. Oh, you guys got work beyond belief right now. You driving trucks? But that's probably going to come 22. I hate to say that because there will nobody be in the factories to even make product for you to deliver. Everything's going to stop. If there's no people to work in the places that create the product to be delivered, guess what? Everything stops. You're welcome, Jason. Jason says that makes a lot of sense. NC Big says, my Capital One loan company has been calling me and sending me letters talking about repos. I'm like almost feels like begging to me. Oh yeah. Repo your old car, you mean, NC Big? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, trust me, they're making a lot of those calls right now. Believe that. Jason says, I feel sorry for the old people who were out to retire and lost all their money in their 401k. I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. I'm glad you brought that up. Now that I think about 401ks and pensions and stuff like that, this is what I think now. How in the world did they get me to believe into something that can be taken away by another entity? How in the world did they get me to believe that? And I'm going to tell you how. First, they pound it into your head right off the bat. It's already pounding your head. Hey, you got to do this for retirement. What about your retirement, right? But if I just added up all my money, added up all my savings, added up all my debt, savings minus debt equals how much money I had to contribute to retirement, it would have been in a negative. Then I would have thought to myself, well, how is it possible for me to invest to contribute to my 401k if I'm in a negative? Exactly, Linnell, you're not. But yet you think you are, Linnell. Why is that? Figure that problem out. Why do you know you did the mathematics? How come you know right now that you're in a negative, yet you still believe you're contributing to your 401k? Ding, 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 ding. And then when throughout the years, I would see when every time an economy crash happened, guess what's the first thing that disappears? Pensions and 401ks. I thought to myself, why would I put my life savings into something that can vanish in a month or two? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Why would I do that? Can you imagine being 65 years old in 2020 and this stuff happens and you lose everything? You know what I thought to myself? Not going to let that happen. No, sir. No, not going to do that. Can't let that happen. I know this is my gift. This is the only way I'm going to retire. Creating this. There's not a job in the world that's going to make me to where I need to be, especially at age 50. If you haven't woken up by age 50, right now, if you are 50 right now and you're waking up, you better thank your lucky stars and come to see me right now. Right now. DTN says they deceive people that talk slick, LJ, but up to us to educate ourselves on the matter. They're not really talking slick. Nobody, the banks are not evil. The 401k people in business, they're not doing anything to anybody. They're just making money on the fact that the majority of people in mathematics, they don't trust mathematics. That's it. It's nothing fancy. Nothing fancy at all. Nothing. Man, I thank God, man, and prepare. I listen to that voice. Oh. Mm. You know how bad it is when you can't even tell nobody about it? There's only very few people I can talk to about this. There's only a few people that will ever get it. Mm. This is going to wake up so many people. You know how hard it is to try to get. You can't, like, imagine this, try to grab somebody that's always talking about what's going on social media and on the news. Try to get them to stop talking about it. Say, hey man, take your head out of that for a second so you can see it's game time over here. It's game time. Right now it's psychological game time. Can you unplug from that? And people got phones too? Oh, good luck with that. But right now it's game time. Right now, you got to psychologically get out of that, get over here so you can see what's really happening. Once you are here, especially in a time like this, you're never going back. I'm never going back, ever. I'm never going back. Never. I'm never going back. Right now, people need my help so bad right now and don't even know it. Don't even know it. Don't even know I have the answer. But again, now they'll see me because right now is the time I'm going to shine bigger than ever. If I was wrapped up in all the hoopla right now, I wouldn't be able to focus in on understanding, telling you guys this, that my time to shine is right now, because I'll be shining bigger than ever. Give it another month. Give it another month. I'm going to shine like the sun in the sky, just like that, just that big. Right now, I can talk to my future self. Hey, I'm almost there. Future Linnell. Yep, I'm almost there. I see you. Now, when you guys see me make this video, guess what? In the future videos, I'm going to talk to this video so I can show you guys how it works. People calling me, hey, man, what if you lose your 401k? Whatever. You know what I say? Whatever. Why do you say whatever? Because I know I'm going to make it. People think they're losing something that don't even exist. It don't even exist. You tell somebody that, hey, you know that money's not real, right? Why? Because you're more than that in debt. So that doesn't even exist. Try to tell somebody in the debt matrix that. They will have not a clue of what you're talking about. Jason says, I wonder how the coronavirus is going to affect Social Security. I'm worried about the elderly in my family. I don't know. Coronavirus affecting, it's the purpose of this coronavirus is to wake people up. It's going to wake a lot of people up. Not the majority. It's going to be a minority of people that are going to wake up and say, ooh, I don't want that to ever happen again. Damn, I've never been through this. Exactly. You haven't. And guess what? It's going to happen again. Probably 10, 15 years from now, it's going to happen again. You're going to be ready for it? How to prepare for it? Stay out of debt. You stay out of debt, you'll always be prepared for anything. TTN says, ever since I saw my home in the newspaper ad, when I got it, I knew I was doing the right thing. Then I heard that voice. I thought I was crazy because others thought I had a plan and wanted out of the matrix. What he said, ever since I saw my home in a newspaper ad. The voice you're talking about, man, you got to listen to that voice. The world will make it sound like you're crazy because you're listening to this voice in your head, whatever. I know what TV will make you seem like, but it's not like that. Hello, reigning woman. What's up, Hyphy? I see you sneak in here. People don't even see, like right now, there's so many financial people on YouTube right now. Now, when you're in debt, you have no idea who to trust because you're in debt. You don't know how to manage money. That's why you're in debt. So you don't know who to look for, right? If you're new to my channel, remember this. Watch closely the behaviors of the financial people that you looked up to, maybe you thought managed money well. Pay close attention to them, okay? They're only going to be able to hold on so long because they're deep in debt. So give it about another month and a half, you'll see everything change. You're going to see everything changing. And then I want you to come back to this channel and see if my behavior changes like theirs. See if my behavior stays the same or changes into their behavior. It affects everybody, all the YouTube stars, everybody's going to be affected. Everybody. those who are in debt, they're going to be affected big time. Everybody gets it, especially people that have been faking. Ooh, wee. Ooh, you people in debt, you guys have no idea how many people you're going to see for who they really are. You're going to see them. You're going to be like, oh my God, I thought they had so much money. I thought they were rich. You see their house and their cars. No, sir. This right here, this is going all the way to the end of the year. Okay. And we're in what? What are we in? March? We're in March. This is going all the way to the end of the year. You think something's gonna happen April 1st? And we're in right now. We're March 20th. You think something's gonna change by the time April 4th or 1st or the 15th? No, it's not. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning of the awakening. It counts on how you look at it. It could be a disaster or it can be an awakening. There's two ways to look at it. Not everybody knows that. There's two ways to look at everything. Everything has an opposite. Everything. I'm so glad, man. My brother don't even know it, man. My brother, Patrick Young, man. I'm so glad he listened to me. It took him 2 years, but he listened to me. I had to back off, give him some space. You know, you're trapped in the debt matrix, man. You can't. It's like I can only imagine his feeling. He got to hand out the debt matrix, but my brother loved me. I know he wouldn't lie to me, but these people, man, oh, what about my credit? But my brother's this and that. My brother's nonstop, and then he finally just pulled him out. Then I tell my brother, is there any way you can go back? Hell no, I can't go back. Nope, never going back. You have no idea how I love when somebody tells me, hey, LJ, you changed my life. You guys have no idea. That fuels me to say I'm going in the right direction. This is how I know. People understand. People don't really understand. How do you know it's your gift? How do you know it's your gift? I always tell people it's just like this. If you can get one person to come up to you and say, hey, you've changed my life, that's your gift. That's how you know. Because that doesn't accidentally happen to no one. That happens accidentally to no one. When's the last time somebody came up to you and said, hey man, you changed my life forever? You've ever heard that before? Nope, I've never heard that until I found my gift. This is my gift. How do I know this? People tell me weekly that I've helped change their life. That's why the voice inside of me kept saying, this is the direction, Linnell. But I kept saying, what's the reward on the other side? Don't worry about that. Every time I kept entering money in the mix, it kept messing things up. Because that's the first thing you want to do. You want to get out of, why are you trying to get into your own, man, I need to make more money. But when you come out strictly thinking about money, it messes everything up because money has nothing to do with it. Money has no involvement of what you must do to find your gift. You can't buy it. I couldn't have bought this gift. Who was I going to buy this gift from? Every time along my journey trying to create this business, every time it involved money, it would mess up. Then I said, okay, I'm going to stop doing that. Every time I stop doing that, I move to the next level in the process, whatever the multi-process is. DTN says, Linnell, my grandfather is hard working farmer with seventh grade education. A month ago, he told me he financed his home and didn't know it was for 35 years. He done paid 20 years. I was like, whoa, yeah. But I don't want you to be surprised at that, DTN, because right now there is a 79% spike in housing refinances. Do you know there are 50-year mortgages out there now? 50. How many people you think are getting those? Believing they're saving money because the monthly payment is going to be this small. 50 years? And people in debt they don't realize they all say the same thing. Oh man, I'll pay it off before then. Sure you will. That's why you got a 50-year mortgage, because you're going to pay it off before then. Of course, person in debt, slave, of course you think that. And through the whole 50 years, the person's going to believe that their house is theirs. How did the banks do that? I don't know. I have no idea how they did that. Randy Woman says, this is how you know someone doesn't know what they're doing in money markets. They go live to show you they're getting in, but can't explain why. Yep. Once you get out of debt, you'll see how the stock market truly works. If you're in debt and you're playing in the stock market, I'm gonna tell you something right now. You're missing a whole piece of the stock market you can't see. There's a whole thing you cannot see. If you're in the stock market playing on margin, you're out. You don't know anything. You're playing with borrowed money, you're out. You're out. You're not even in the game. DTN says, I listen to The Voice, plus you, Chris Hogan, Dave Ramsey. I'm on the right path. Yes, they all, Chris Hogan, Dave Ramsey. I listen to Kyle Cease, all those people. This language cannot be faked. I'm going to tell you guys something that been in debt all your life. You're probably in a panic. If you've been in debt all your life, you only speak debt. I promise you. If you're a person that believes a person will just have debt until they're dead, I'm here to tell you, only people in debt say you'll have debt forever. Only people in debt say that. So if 10 of your friends agree with you, that's because you're all in debt. That's why you guys all agree. NC Big says, my friend was telling me that Trump is stopping evictions for renters until this is over. What's your thoughts? Trump's stopping eviction and foreclosures only for people with FHA mortgages. Read that. It's on CNN, okay? It's only for people with FHA mortgages. You know why? Because those are all the people that couldn't afford a home in the first place. Of course it's for you. Because if they didn't do that, the whole housing market would crash. Why don't you, when you look at that article, right, say to yourself, dang, how come they don't do it for people with conventional mortgages? There's a reason. FHA mortgages? Of course. Because you guys are going to be you with FHA mortgages, you couldn't afford the house in the first place. So you're going to be the first one to stop paying your mortgage because you could never afford it in the first place. So they're going to save you or pretend like they're going to save you. And usually the people that finance the houses with FHA mortgages to rent to renters, they use the FHA mortgage because they couldn't afford it. That's why they're using FHA mortgages. Now, if you come across a realtor and they say, oh man, that's not true, then you turn to them and say, was there a better mortgage on the market than the one you got for the house that you rented out? They're going to say yes. And then you ask them, how come you didn't get that one? Because they didn't have any money. That's why they're getting that one. Why would you accept it? You got to ask them, why would you accept why not the best mortgage on the market to create a rental house for income? Why not? Because you're broke. You're in debt. That's why you're accepting those type of terms. Only people in debt would ever accept the terms of an FHA mortgage. Now, listen, I'm not against FHA mortgages. I'm not. That's business. That's nothing personal. Nothing personal. If you want to do that, great. You do it. That's money to be made. That's money. That's guaranteed money. Rainy Woman says, Great job, Patrick. Rainy Woman says 50-year mortgages. Yes, that's insane. 50-year mortgages. 50 years. Now there's 30, 15, 30, 40, 50. You guys are going to see such a big change in this channel right now. I'm no longer arguing with people that don't believe in mathematics. It's 100% waste of my time. All those people are going to come to my channel, all of them. All those people that believe there was some faster way out of debt, they're going to find out that none of that was true. None of it's true. Then they're going to look at the people that were teaching them that nonsense. They're going to be like, man, you were lying to me the whole time and you didn't know. Either way, you didn't know. They're going to be exposed. And I'm not here. If you come over here, say like you're a person that believed in velocity banking, infinite banking, whatever, right? And you come over here and say, man, you were right. I'm not going to be like, oh man, I told you so. No, I'm just saying, welcome. That's okay. Nothing's wrong with that. Welcome. Be happy that you woke up. There is no fast way out of debt. There is no fast way out of debt. That's why they sell people fast ways out of debt. They're selling people something that don't even exist. It only exists in their head. Yes, Jason, 50-year mortgages. Joseph says, yes, they're called people like crazy on they're called like crazy. One dude at my job said, it's good to refinance. I laughed and told him they love people like you because you will work your whole life and never pay it off. Yeah. They're going to think they're saving money. People refinancing houses. They're even refinancing cars. When you see somebody on Instagram talking about they got an awesome rate by refinancing their house, you better unfriend them, remove them from your Instagram, because they have no idea what they're saying. None. And they're publicly announcing it. By even saying that out loud, they're telling you to your face that they know absolutely nothing about finances. Nothing. Oh, I did this. And they'll tell you that they're refinancing their car, and in the same sentence tell you that they're saving, how much they're saving. DTN says, yeah, Linnell, grandfather got 40-year mortgage. That sounded so depressing for some reason. Oh, it's totally depressing. It's hard to watch when it's your family members. It's very hard to watch. People you love, they're in a panic. They're doing anything. They're doing anything. Hyphy says, tell that no eviction rule to Cosmic Wisdom. You're going to tell her what you're going to do in her house while not paying rent? Yeah, right. I know, right? Right. But if Cosmic Wisdom has some an FHA mortgage, she got to follow those guidelines. She ain't got no choice. There's no choice. Headline News, Quentin says, I saw on Headline News gas is 99 cents in Kentucky. Saw that too. You know why? Because they gotta lay a blanket of normalcy for a while. Lower the gas prices. Lower the interest rate on refinancing the house. Lower the interest rate on regular loans. Halt evictions. What else is there? Freeze interest rates on. They gotta lay a thin blanket of normalcy so people don't freak out. Because if they left everything up high sky, people would panic even more than they are. Like when you go out, like right now, when I go out, I went this morning before I started this video, I went to the store and picked up some items from the grocery store from Walmart, right? You can getting out of my car, from the end of the parking lot, you can feel the whole energy of the whole freaking planet is changed. I felt like when it's a beautiful, let me see what the temperature is here today. It is 79 degrees here today, 79. Almost 80 degrees here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, almost 80 degrees. I got out of my car to go to Walmart. I could feel the energy totally different. Everybody just looks at you different. Oh, and you better not cough. You better not cough. You better not sneeze. You better not nothing. I'm walking in the store. You can just, you can't touch it. You can't smell it. You can't, but you can almost, it's so thick, you can almost grab it. Everybody, they're just right here on the edge of something. You can just feel it. I've never felt like that in anything in my life. You know what that is? It's a collective fear. It's a collective fear, and it's so thick. I got to unplug from that. I'm part of it. I'm there. I can see it, but I'm not being part of it. No, sir. Anything is ready to jump off in that. Anything, the drop of a freaking pin could set that exploding bomb off. You got to unplug from that. Oh, yeah, I ain't part of that. Let me get my stuff, get back in the car, and get back home. Streets, check it out. Stores they wouldn't pack. Roads are not packed. Nothing's packed. But hey, you know what? There's some kind of bomb about to go off. You can feel it. Joseph says they will be here angry at themselves for not knowing simple. Oh yeah, they're gonna be here. That's okay too, Joseph. That's okay, as long as they're here. You about to see the subscription channel, the subscriptions on this channel explode through the freaking roof. Right now, you go see it, you're like, oh, it's only $13.65. Come back, give it another month. It's about to explode through the roof. Because I'm gonna be one of the only people on YouTube telling the truth. That I can change your life forever to make sure this never happens to you again. Something like this. And then once you're out of it, guess what? Times like this will be financial Christmas for you. You guys have no idea the few percentage of people that are making billions right now. They're making billions of dollars. And no, they're not scamming people. They're not price gouging. No, none of that. Those are scammers. People that buy stuff to price gouge, those are scammers. They're taking advantage of people in a fearful time. That's called scammers. There are people making millions, billions, not scamming anybody. They're not scamming anybody. You know what they say? Oh man, emotional people react this way, so I'm gonna do that. That's it. I know a bunch of people that when they panic, they do this. So I'm going to do that. That's it. And then they make millions and billions and trillions, whatever. It's nothing to brag about. It's like, hey, oh man, you guys are so, no, it is what it is. There's no reason to go out and rub it in people's faces. Hey man, I'm making all this money and you're not. No, there's absolutely no reason for that. None. The right people will see it and say, man, how are you doing that? Because I'm doing the opposite of the majority. That's it. I'm just doing, when they do that, I do this. When they do that, I do this. That's it. I can't stand scammers. I can't stand them. I can't stand people taking advantage of, I mean, even when they do it legally, I can't stand it. It bothers me. I ain't gonna lie. It bothers me. I couldn't make my money that way. I couldn't do it. Just can't do it. DTN says, Linnell, earlier in the video, you said you were filling out applications and wasn't getting any callbacks. I imagine people losing jobs now trying to fill out applications and get a callback. Oh, they're not getting any callbacks. There's no jobs. Right now, people will take anything. Nothing. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to something. Nothing is below anyone right now at this time. Oh, yeah. All those people are high and mighty, had those high paying jobs. Say, oh, man, I wouldn't be washing no cars. I wouldn't be doing any of that. I bet you will now. And I bet you wouldn't care if anybody saw you out there doing it. And you know why? Because it doesn't matter. It never has mattered what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter. People that said they would never work at McDonald's, guarantee you they will now. Guaranteed. Pull up, see them in the drive-thru. You think they would care what somebody in the car thought? Mm-mm. You think somebody like right now, you think somebody working at McDonald's would care about somebody in a car with no job, with payments due up their butt, worried about them working at McDonald's when they ain't got nothing? Mm-mm. You won't care what anybody thinks. That's how it's always been. You can't care what anybody else thinks. If I cared about what people thought, this would have never been born. This channel would have never, ever been born, ever. I don't care what nobody thinks. Is my math right? Yeah, then shut up. Why are you talking to me? You mean you came over all the way over to my channel to tell me how you feel? I don't have the desire to come over and tell you how you feel, how I feel about, hey man, I hate you, this and that, whatever. I just go and say, hey man, this and that, and this is the math. What do you tell me? Nothing, crickets, because it's math. The silence tells me everything I need to know, everything. When I get no response, that's the answer I expected. No response, because there is no other answer than the one I gave on the page. Beautiful weather here. Beautiful, man. Me and my girl, we're going to go take a walk at the park with all the old people. You know how many old people are walking around the park? Totally forgetting that the majority of these old people, they already went through one of these types of recessions years ago. Whatever time in their life, they already went through it, and laughing at the majority of people doing all this, falling for all this stuff. I went down to the park. I was looking at the old people. Now, if I would have been caught up in the matrix, I would have been like, oh my God, what are those old people doing out here? You know, they're vulnerable for that. Mm-mm. I look at the old people and say, wow, they know something that the majority of people don't. That's why they're out here. That's how I look at it. Everything has an opposite. You could tell, I was in the grocery store. You could tell all the people looking at the very old, fragile people around shopping. Oh my God, you shouldn't be out here. You just got to stop and say, maybe they know something that you don't know. That's why they're here. Joseph says, Corona fever has taken people's mind to the media caused a lot it had to tell. I had to tell to turn off the news of fear is useful. And for the 1%, they make billions off of this. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you got to turn off the news. You got to turn off, you got to tell the people around you, because not only the news, the people around you are constantly talking about this stuff. I got to tell people, stop doing that. Hey, man, stop. Don't you want to know? No, I don't want to know. I know enough. Coronavirus, yeah. Does it kill people? Yes, it kills people. Everybody losing jobs? Yeah, I know all that. What else do I need to know? I don't need to know anything else. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. I was prepared for this. Better believe it. I was prepared for this. DTN says, Is this considered a recession? You better believe it. This recession will be in the history books. This is the biggest one ever, the biggest one. And we're just at the beginning of it. You know how many people want to keep the level of normalcy? I get it. But if you really step out of it for a minute and you think the virus problem is going to be solved next month in April, you're insane. Hmm. Right now, I know what the voice was preparing me for. Had I known, this is why the voice could not tell me what it was preparing me for. It can't tell me this. Can you imagine? Hey, man, you got to get debt free. Why? Because in 2020, there's going to be a recession with a virus outbreak. So you got to do it now. What? I wouldn't have believed that for a million years. If the voice could actually tell me this, I would have never believed it. Never believed it. You mean what you see on movies? Yeah, a virus that's going to be worldwide and it's going to be killing people. I'd have been like, whatever. You're crazy. If somebody would told you this last year, hey man, check it out. This virus is going to happen. And it's going to be worldwide and it's going to be killing people. You would have thought they were insane. The voice couldn't tell me that. That would have threw everything off. You think had I known if the voice said, hey man, this virus is going to be here in 2020, you think that the first thing I would have did was pay off my debt? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have paid off my debt. That'd have been the very last thing on my mind. Like right now, you think people's minds right now is to focus on paying off debt? Nope. That's the furthest thing from a person's brain right now. The furthest. Right now is the time to know how to make, I can teach you this, to learn how to make sure this never ever happens to you again, your children, and your children's children. You will never be in this situation again, ever. When I say situations, will another virus come? Yeah. Will another recession come? Yeah. I'm not saying when those things happen, those things are going to happen. But how you respond to them, that choice is up to you. That's totally in your control. Totally. This recession is going to weave out all the fakers, you guys, all these people that you thought were the big dogs, personally, business wise. You're going to think, man, this company's so big, they can never, yes. If they've been running on debt, yes. How can a company run for 20 years and then something like this happens and 1 month can take them out? How is that possible? They've been making billions or millions over years and then 1 month can break them? That doesn't make any sense. You know why that is? Because of debt. Through this thing right here, through this preparedness for me, where I'm prepared today, I was prepared to live off of $30,000 a year. I was prepared to do that. You know how easy that is? That is so easy. Yes, $30,000 a year, and I wasn't even trying. I'm not cutting coupons. I'm not holding back on vacations. I didn't hold back. And man, I flew across the United States. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I flew across the United States from Seattle to South Carolina like 2, 3 times through the year. I went at least 10 times, 20 times on $30,000 a year. Again, if the voice would have told me, "Hey, man, when you quit your job, you're gonna meet this woman across the United States," I would have been like, "How am I gonna do that?" And you're gonna do it without no job. I'm gonna fly back and forth across the United States to see a woman, to date her, or whatever, right? And I'm not gonna even have a job. How would I ever do that? Tickets are like $800 a ticket. What are you talking about? Don't worry about that. That's what the voice said to me, and guess what? I did it. And I know this sounds funny. I remember the truck I drive right now. Let me put this up because I always like to show this so everybody can, so people can see this. I want you guys to understand something, how it works. When I first sold my Lexus, I remember I said to myself, you know what? This is what I want. While I'm getting out of debt, I'm gonna pay cash for it, and this is how I want it to look when I get it. So people, when they see me, because still image is a little bit important, but it's important to see for people to see this. They can see me drive a truck like this at the age I am today, and they can see it. And this is a 1995 GMC Yukon two-door GT. You don't even see them, right? When people see me in this truck, they don't look at me and say, "Oh man, he's driving an old truck, he's broke." When you see that truck, they don't think that. They say, "Damn, that's an old truck, but he ain't broke," because it wouldn't look like that. I made up in my mind before it came to light that that's how my truck was going to look. I said I was going to get that model truck, and that's how it's going to look. And voila, look at it. First, it started here, and then I made it come to life, and there it is. I used that truck to drive from Seattle to South Carolina. Not a problem. Joseph says recessions show who the real winners are and who just been faking it to make it. Exactly. The majority of people in debt, they always say, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. Nobody ever stops and says, who's telling you that? Broke people. Broke people say things like that. Fake it till you make it. Why would I fake it till I make it? You mean keep going into debt until I make it? How am I going to make it if I keep digging myself in debt? You're not. Only people in debt say such things. But when you're in debt, you don't know that. Quentin says, I didn't know GM, Ford, and Chrysler warehouse closed temporarily. Yep. What's that mean, temporarily? What's that mean? What's that mean? Temporarily when? Till what? 2021? You better wake up. You better unplug. You better put your phone down. You better stop grabbing your phone the first thing you wake up in the morning to plug into the matrix, to the board. You better stop. You know, the first thing I do when I wake up, I don't grab my phone. I don't grab my laptop. You know what I do? I open the shades and look out the back of the yard and look at the grass and the birds. That's exactly what I do every morning. I don't wake in and plug up. I don't wake and plug right in. That's just like the movies. You're plugging right in. People say it every day. Oh man, I only meant to look at my phone for like 5 minutes, and here it is about 2 hours later. People say that all the time. That's exactly why. Because you woke up, you plugged in, they did their feel to your brain, and then once you're filled, and then all of a sudden you stop, and then you're like, and then you look back up and see the time. Oh man, it's been 2 hours. Yeah, because your brain's already loaded up. You're full. Until you need to refill again. And this is when people need to refill. When they're sitting somewhere and got nothing to do, they pull out and fill up. They can't just sit there and go like this. This is what I do when I get in crowded areas right now. I sit with my phone in my pocket and I look around and see how many people are looking at their phones. That's what I do. DTN says, my brother that financed his girlfriend's car, he finally left her because the relationship was toxic. He, with his job, he left her in Atlanta and he moved back home. Now he broke, jobless, with 2 car debts. Oof. But believe it or not, he can get out of that nonsense too. There's an easy way to get out. Thank you, Mecca. Appreciate it. And a broken heart. Yeah. Thanks, NC Biggs. Mecca says, I also noticed that these companies making millions off of us for health insurance. I can pay down my medical bills. Right now, with people in debt don't understand, they can't see it because they're in debt. Right now, collection agencies, they will take anything. See, this is what you can't see when you're plugged into the matrix. Let me tell you something. Right now, collection companies ain't going to get a dime. Whoever bought all this debt from these big multi-billion-dollar companies on pennies on the dollar, they ain't going to get nothing. So right now, they'll take anything. If you got a $10,000 debt, guess what? They'll settle for $1,000 right now. You know why? Because they're not seeing that for years. Right now, if you got some cash, I would call these collections agencies and say, hey, check it out. I know that debt is $5,000, but I got $500. Do you want it? Because you know you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. These car loan places right now, they're calling you, begging you to keep your car. They're going to do anything you desire so you will keep that car. Hey man, we'll postpone your payments for like 3 months. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, hey, you don't want to pay it for 3 months? What you need 4? We'll give you 4. All they're gonna do is just put it to the back of the loan, and you're gonna think they're doing you a favor. They're begging you to keep those cars. Believe that. There's gonna be a fire sale on cars after this is over. Ooh wee! You want that new Corvette? Oh yeah, you'll get it for pennies on the dollar. Ferrari, Lamborghini. If you had the money that you're saving it for exotic car right now, this is the time to buy one. If you have money right now, I don't care what it is. Drop top Bentley, Ferrari, they're giving them away. Believe that. I can only imagine the cars that are going to be at auction. Ooh-wee. And guess what? There's people right now getting into debt. Why? Because they think they're going to get an awesome loan right now so they're going in, trading in their high price loans, refinancing it, getting this low percentage rate, just burying themselves deeper in debt. Imagine how many people are going to keep up the facade by doing just that. They're going to refinance their house, take out the money, go get a car because it's a low interest rate, so they can pretend to the people around them that they're not suffering when it's pretty obvious that everybody's suffering. Nobody's immune to this. Nobody. You will now see it will awaken some people to clearly understand that everything works together. All pieces. They will now see that classes, poor, middle class, upper class, they don't even exist. Classes only exist in the debt matrix. They don't even exist. They're going to wake up and be like, wait a minute. You mean there is no poor? There is no middle class? There is no rich class? Nope. It was only imagination in your head that they put it there. Here I was making $160,000. I thought I was middle class. I was only in the debt class because I was double that in debt. So I was in the debt class. Rainy Woman says, and ask for debt cancellation or debt paid in full letter. You sure better ask for that letter. You can make all the rules right now. They call you up. This is what you got to understand. Okay, do like this. When they call you, don't run. Give them your phone number. Don't just say, hey man, yeah, hey, you know you owe, because they're bill collectors are right now. They're vicious right now because if they don't collect, they don't get paid. So they're going to be on you. Don't let them get wrapped up in your feelings. This is what you do. Hey man, you got that? You gonna pay that $5,000 bill? He's like, nope. Why not? I ain't got no job. You got anything? You say, yeah, I got $500. You want it? Oh man, ain't enough. Okay, well, what are you gonna call me back later? It's gonna be the same answer if I don't give it to somebody else. Because you got to make sure you tell them. If you don't take it, it's gonna go to somebody else. They're gonna take it. Let me go back to Mecca. I said about the healthcare. Yeah, they're making millions because everybody's panicking. Everybody get a cough. When you're so wrapped up in the matrix, you might cough and convince yourself that you got the coronavirus. Mecca says that's exactly what I'm doing, settling most of my debt. Oh yeah, right now is the time. People in debt don't know it's the time. They're too busy panicked right now. But right now is the time to settle debt. Now tell me something. Let me ask you guys something here. Because I don't know this personally, do debt collectors accept credit cards? If somebody in here knows that, please tell me that. I don't know that. Do they accept credit cards? Please tell me that. If anybody in here knows that. Mecca says it's the haves and the have-nots. Yep. Rainy Woman says, I ain't pretending. Sheezy, I want out of the debt matrix. Yeah. Don't pretend nothing. I'm out. I was prepared for this, you guys. I was prepared to teach who's ever ready to listen. That's my gift. I was saying on my Facebook the other day, I said, now is the time for me to shine right now. I was trying to figure out where's my time, like I knew the time. The universe only controls that. Right now. I think about, I'm going to tell you guys one time that I think about as early as when, let's put it this way. I'm going to tell you guys about a time that I knew something when I first started getting inclinations with something was different. Okay. Now I always felt like this when I was a kid. Like I was, I'm not going to say special or better than somebody else. I just knew at a young age that I knew I didn't have to be like everybody else. I just knew this at a young age. I made sure of this. I always made sure of this, right? But I remember one time I was like 15. I was in high school, maybe a freshman. And I remember I was sitting in front of this guy, this kid, and he was telling me how he used to sneak off with his mom's car at night when she was asleep. Right. And he used to have fun and doing this. And here I'm just a stupid teenager. I'm like, oh, yeah, my mom works. No, did she work? No, she didn't work at night. No, she worked during the day, but he used to sneak off with her car at night. So I did the same thing. So one time I snuck off with my mom's car when I was like 15. Went and picked up my friend. We go to kick it. And in Seattle, there was this place called Broadway, right? And there used to be this burger place that everybody used to cruise around there. It's called Dick's Drive-In Burgers, right? And I remember I snuck off with my mom's car. We went kicking it up there, and that place stayed open like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're doing that, we did that cruising thing until about 2 o'clock, 2:30. We're still kicking it. We're looking for girls and all this other stuff. And I remember when I was driving, the light was changing, and then it changed to yellow. Then I zoomed through it where a cop pulled me over. She pulled me over and said, I ran the red light. I was like, I didn't run the red light. It was yellow, blah, 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 whatever, right? She probably was following me the whole time. I just didn't even pay attention. I'm 15. We get pulled over. She asked for license and registration. And I said, oh, I don't got no license. Here's the registration, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, hold on, goes back to the car, does something, gets some tickets. And then she gives me my ticket. And then I get ready to go get back in the car. And she says to me, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting in the car, go home. She said, you ain't driving this car home. You ain't got no license. You better find somebody on the streets to take you home. Now it's 2:30, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Who am I going to get some stranger on the streets to get me to get home? So this is what I'm thinking in my head. Oh, man, I'm just going to wait till she leave. And then I'm going to just hop in the car and leave. I'm 15, not knowing that's exactly what a grown-up would know I would do because I'm 15, right? But on that night, I locked the keys in the car. I got out the car because in my mind, I was just going to wait till she leave. And then I was going to get in the car and leave. And then when I closed the door and locked it, I looked in the key thing and I locked the keys in the car. I was like, damn. I'm talking to my friend. Oh, man, I locked the keys in the car, right? So I said, okay, cool. We're gonna go up to this grocery store up here because it was a 24-hour grocery store. We're gonna walk up there and borrow a hanger, and then we're gonna get in there and get the keys out with the hanger, right? As we're walking towards the store, there's alleyways between the businesses, right? And then I kid you not, as we're walking, the cop was parked in one of the alleyways. She was parked in there waiting for me to get in the car and leave, right? And as I walk past this alley, we're walking, yeah, man, and then I turned. I swear to God, it felt like slow motion. It was like me and the officer's eyes locked. We were like everything slowed down. She was looking at me like this, and I'm cussing this part because it's very important for you to hear, so you guys can feel what I felt when I was looking at her in her eyes. So pretend like I'm her in the car, looking at me in my car, looking at me walking by. She was looking like, yeah, motherfucker, I was wishing you got in that car. You lucky your ass would have been going to juvenile. That's exactly what if it was in slow motion, just like that. Just like that. Yeah, motherfucker. I wish you would have gotten that car because your ass would have been going to juvie tonight. Yep. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. If I would have hopped in that car, she would have had me. Sure would have. Sure would have. Right there, I knew something was guiding me. I knew it. It's like and I thought to myself, even as a kid, that's why those keys got locked in the car. That's what I said to myself, but I couldn't tell anybody that because they would have thought I was crazy. And then I had no choice at that point to call my mom and say, hey, Mom, I took the car. She was like, where you at? I'm up on Broadway. Got my uncle, drove me up there, blah, blah, blah. Then my mom sent me away to my dad's, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole nother story. But I'm trying to tell you right here at this point, that's when I knew. That was like these, because I have these flash moments throughout my life right now. I don't know why I remember certain moments throughout my life. I always wondered why throughout my life. Why do I remember this moment when I don't even try to remember? Why do I remember this moment that I don't even try to remember? And then when I get to where I'm going to get to, they all connect. This is why you remember that. This is why you remember that. This is why you didn't do that. This is why you didn't do that, because you needed to get here. If I didn't listen to my voice at those times that were telling me why those points were happening, my life would have turned another way. If I would have just said, screw it, I'm going to go ahead and get the keys. I'm going to go ahead and get a hanger, get the keys out the car, and I'm going to drive the car anyway. Then my whole life would have changed. That's when I knew, but I still couldn't talk to anybody about it because everybody thought it would be crazy. Rainy Woman says, if I do cough, I'm going to say, excuse me, and keep it moving. Joseph says, yes, they do. They don't care as long as they get paid. Wow. I guess it wouldn't matter. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. I was just curious. Whatever. I'm not even gonna say that part. NC Big says, from my experience, debt collectors only accept debit cards or direct withdrawals from bank accounts. Okay. Don't matter. Never mind what I was thinking. I'm not even gonna bring it up. DTN says, it looks like a movie at the hospital I work at, everybody with masks. Yeah. Rainy Woman said, debt collectors do accept credit cards. That's crazy. That is crazy that they accept credit cards. Oh my God. Woo. Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking out loud. If I paid off all my debt with credit cards right now, if I was in debt, they would clear my credit report, and then I lose my job and file bankruptcy. So I guess bankruptcy will wipe out the collection debt anyway. So it wouldn't matter if I use the credit cards or not. Never mind. I'm just talking out loud. Jason says, since the Fed dropped the interest rates, shouldn't credit card interest rates be lowered as well? Yeah, they will. Not very much. They'll look. They might not. It don't matter, because if you're in debt to the credit card companies, they can choose to lower the interest rate or not. You can't do anything about it. You're in debt to them, so it doesn't even matter. Joseph said, had LJ singing Rockwell, it always feels like somebody's watching me. Yeah, you're right, man. You know what's so funny though, Joseph? It's more like I always felt like somebody was watching over me. Hold on, let me turn this AC back on. It's getting warm. It's almost 80 degrees. All right, I'm back. I always felt like somebody was watching over me, but honestly, this is the way I honestly, truly look at it. I believe it was the future me today, right now, was watching me, because right here today, if I had not listened to my voice in my head, I couldn't have been here, or would have been, I couldn't have been here, but it would have been harder to get here. It was totally up to me to make sure the path to getting where I am today could be smooth or rough. It didn't mean I wasn't going to make it here, but it was up to me to make it smooth. If I had stayed out of debt, let me tell you guys something. Had I stayed out of debt, I would have avoided bad relationships, bad marriages, taking financial advice from the wrong people, even my parents, anything. I would have avoided the wrong people, because when I'm out of debt now, I understand that my time in my life is the most valuable thing on earth, because I can't get more of it. I wouldn't have did stupid things as a kid, as a young adult, that would have jeopardized anything, taking away the time in my life, anything. Oh man, if you do that, you can go to jail, you can go to prison for this. Then I'm not going to do that. Because why? Because there's a possibility. What do you think? I'm going to do that for money? People do every day. People risk the time in their life for what? Paper. Oh man, got to get that money. Got to get that. People sacrifice time from their children for what? Money. Oh, sorry, honey, I can't get to your game today. Why, mom, dad? Because I got to work overtime. Why is that? Because I got that Mercedes outside. That's why I can't come to your game. Parents can't say that. Hey, man, you know that big house that with so many bedrooms that we don't even use? Yeah, that's why I can't come to your games. Yeah, I'm going to have to miss this graduation. Why? Because I have to work. What am I going to do? I have no choice. I got all for money. I wouldn't have dated anybody that was in debt. I would have never took anybody serious that were in debt. I wouldn't even come close. Like if I would have come across a person that I was seeing, that I wanted to see, and it was time to get into a sexual relationship, and I found that they have $200,000-$300,000 in student loan debt, I would have made sure that I was safe every single time, making sure there would even remotely been a possibility of an accident, having a child with a person that is deep in debt and don't care. Oh no, I would have never did that. I would have never legally tied myself to a person in debt and had a child by a person in debt. That wouldn't even have been a serious relationship. They would have like, hey, Linnell, we get along so great. We get along, we do this. You're in debt. How many times am I going to tell you you're $200,000 worth of debt and have no idea if you're going to ever pay it off? I'm not going to tie myself to that. No, sir. If I came across a woman, she could be I'm with somebody now, so that's not going to happen. I'm just saying in general, before I met the woman I'm with today, if I came across a woman in my past, there's many women in my past right now. When I think back, they were deep in debt. I was in debt too. I'm not, that's why we got along. And that's why debt didn't matter, because we were both in debt. That's why I didn't bother to say, hey, how much debt are you in? Because I was in debt. So who am I to ask somebody else how much debt they have if I'm in debt? It doesn't make any sense. But once you get out of debt, that's the first question you ask, how much debt you have. But you don't even have to get that far, because you'll hear the way they talk about money. As soon as you hear somebody in debt talk about money, you'll know right away that you're not going to have a serious relationship with them at all. They don't even need to know. You always hear, hey, man, the number one reason for divorce is money. No, it's not. It's debt. It's not money. It's debt. This is why it's going to be This is why it's an awakening right now. This is why I was prepared for this. It's going to be awakening, because as soon as these people are together, they're locked, they're quarantined together, and nobody has no job. Nobody's above anybody because nobody has no money. Guess what? Then they're going to be looking at it and say, why am I with you? Now they can see them for what they are. Now the person that was the breadwinner, now they can't hold that over their partner. Like, you can't do anything without me. I'm the one with making all the money. Now they're not making any money. Now what? Now what's your excuse for staying with that person? There will be none. And then they're going to wake up and realize, you mean to tell me I was letting you stay over me because you had money more, you made more money than me, and now I find out that you're deeper in debt than I am? Yes. They were holding you just because they had money that didn't even exist. They just made you believe it. That's it. You're going to leave. The kids are not going to make you stay. The neighborhood's not going to make you stay. The kids' private school, because everybody's out of school. Nobody's going to school. Not the private school, not the this and that, not the neighbors, nobody, because you know for a fact now everybody is costumes off. Their costumes off. Everybody that's just like you, broke. So now you're not going to worry about impressing the neighbors if you let that car go get repossessed. Because your neighbor can no longer fake. They're going to come home and so, hey, they ain't got no job because all the businesses are closed. So they're not working. You know how amazing it feels to to finally express my gift to you guys fully. It was frustrating trying to weave through all the fakers to get the majority of people to see. You know how frustrating that is? Now everybody will see. Everybody. I told my brother, my brother Patrick Young, this is what I told him. I said, at first, him and I have always been on the same mental state. We always have been, ever since before any of this happened, right? I told my brother, I said, you and I are going to take our name to the next level. You know how you hear the Rothschilds and stuff like that? I said, we're going to make the Youngs like that. The Young name. We're going to start it. Him and I, we're going to start it. When you hear the Young name, you're going to think just like the Rothschilds. That's what you're going to think. I said, we're going to start that off. That takes generations. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm going to be like the Rothschilds overnight. That takes generations. One person can't do that. That's a generation. I'm going to be long dead before I even see the level of the Rothschilds. I'll be long dead. But you will see a picture of me on one of those walls in a freaking castle. If one of the young generations, one of my great-great-grandsons decides to put his great-great-grandfather's picture up on the wall, I'm going to be looking all old. I'm going to say, yeah, he started it. Him and his brother. Yep, my great-great-grandfather started this. He's the one that made me believe. That's why the Young name is what it is today. I told him that. I said, we're going to start it. This is way bigger than us, way bigger. It's going to start with this, the Young name. SMD family members come in here. This is what the SMD family come in. They come in here to get the proper information, and then they take off and do their own thing, whatever it is they choose to do, whatever. They will know once they come here, once you're part of the S&D family and you understand how it works, then you're going to take off and create whatever it is the universe wants you to create. I tell everybody I help. Hey, could you ever go back? No, that's not even an option. That's not even an option to go back in debt. Say, oh, forget it. I'm cool with making car payments. That'll never happen. There is nothing that is that's blocking my vision. There's nothing in the way. There's nothing in the way. This whole thing was prepared. This is what I was prepared for. This is why I was never given the answer to what it is. You can't explain this. This cannot be explained. Once it happened, and then the universe is like, now do you see? Do you see why I made you do all this? I see it. I see. Okay. Yep. I see it. I see it. Brittany C says, equals see things clearly. Yep. 2020. Oh, crap. That was there the whole time? Yes, it was. Hey, every time I finance a car, I was financing the taxes too. Yes, you were, Linnell. Yes. Oh, I never owned a house when I have a mortgage. Nope. That was a facade. Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody was like me. Sure was. They were all in debt. I'm going to shine like the biggest star in the sky right now. I know the wealthy see me. I know they see me. I'm coming to take my place. Yes, I found it. Yeah, I understand that I had to figure it out myself too. I get it. I get why you're there now. I understand why you're there. I'm talking to the wealthy. I understand why. I understand now. Everybody has to understand this before you can get to that status. I'm here to take my spot. I now understand that the wealthy are not greedy, hoarding anything. All those myths that people in debt say to prevent them from doing whatever they need to do to become whatever they choose to become. I understand that those are all just sayings. There's plenty for everybody. There's plenty for everybody. You just got to understand how to speak the language. That's it. I'm here to take my place. I'm here to start my legacy now. I'm here to say, I want my picture on my wall in one of my family generations' houses. Say, that's my grandfather. He started this. That's my great grandfather. He started this. You know how many people call me outside of just outside of debt advice? They call me for other advice too. Not even about money. You know how grateful I am for that? People call me for advice, say, hey man, this is not about money, but what do you think of this? Do you think this connects to that? Yes, it does. It always does. The majority of the time it does. You know how grateful I am for that? I'm grateful of that. You know how many people contact me that come into the rooms, into these rooms, and then they come in and say, "Hey, man, I don't really say nothing, but I want to tell you that you've changed my life forever. I just want to tell you that I don't really talk that much. I'm not a big talker, bloggity blah, whatever, right?" Now you're probably thinking, now I'm looking in this room, right? Now on the average, I usually have about 30 people, almost 40 people in it. Now I got like 12, 15 people. You know why? Because they're occupied. Everybody's occupied. This doesn't deter me. People got to hit rock bottom before they wake up. So the last thing they want to hear is what I got to say. They want a fix right now. I'm looking for a fix. I'm looking for a fix. Once they get to the point to where they understand that there is no fix, you fix it. You're the only one that can fix it. That's when they'll come back to my page. I want you guys to see this inside the SMD family. I want you to see this. I know you're looking at the numbers. Say, oh man, there's only 12 people. Hey, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. This is to show you, once you get on the other side of zero, this is how much room there is. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of money. There's always lots of money. Under any circumstance, there's always plenty of money for you. Always. When you get on this side, you will never even think about money that way anymore. You don't even think about it. Oh, I know you are, Hyphy. Hyphy knows exactly what I'm talking about. None of this quarantine stuff, that's my life. I don't feel like I'm quarantined. I'm feeling like I do every day. It's beautiful outside. I'm about to go take a walk in the beautiful 80-degree sun. It is 80 degrees today. Let me see if it's still 79 or is it higher right now. Still 79, 80 degrees. You better believe I'm going to take a walk, and it will be that until it don't drop till 70 degrees until 8 p.m. tonight. It's only 3:30 Eastern time. Even that. I live in one of the most beautiful places in the United States of America. It is 80 degrees right now, 80. And beautiful sun. I love looking out the window. It's blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. Right now, I can go anywhere and it's all open. Nature. Right now, the only place you can go right now, listen, the only place you can go right now is nature. Right now. Nature. I've been doing that. The one thing that takes me away is watching birds. I don't know. It's been like that since I was a little kid. I always watch birds. They just seem free. They can fly anywhere they want. Not a careless thing in the world. Nothing changed. You think birds know what's going on in the climate of the world today? Nothing. They don't know anything. Everything's still the same to them. Here are the superior kings that we thought we were on top of the food chain here running around like in panic right now. Wait a minute. Kings don't run around in panic. And we think we're at the top? Gotcha. Who said we? Did we say we're at the top of the food chain? So we just made that determination that we're at the top of the food chain. That's what we determined, huh? Says who? And if you're in debt and you don't even know you're in debt, you are nowhere. You don't even exist except in the debt matrix, because you guys are the ones that keep the fuel debt economy alive. You. Mark says about to hop to the top farm. Hop top. We're at the top of the farm. Exactly. Go to the top of the farm. Mark says the Carolinas sure are beautiful. Love my walks. Ain't it beautiful, Mark? It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful. I'm assuming it's the same way over there in North Carolina right now. Got to be beautiful. It is beautiful here today. I said to myself, I said to my girlfriend, I got to make sure. I was almost doing this video last night. I said, I need a video to do today. I told myself, I'm going to be the realest that I've ever been today, ever, in any of my videos. Now I am free to be 100% me, 100%. You ever wonder what that would be like, where you could just be completely 100% yourself? Why do you think people in debt are fascinated by people that just do whatever they wish? And people in debt believe the only way you can do that is you got to be rich. No, you don't. You don't got to be rich. That's why you're attracted to people that do, man, they just do whatever they want. Man, they got to go to work. They can sleep. They can just go play, because you want that. That's why you desire. That's why you're envious of that. All you gotta do is walk up to them and say, hey, man, how'd you do that? Some are faking it, but the real ones, you can tell. You come up and ask me, I'll tell you exactly how to do it. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. You might think it's crazy. Oh, well. Okay, it's the same, Mark. That's what I figured. Exactly the same. I love it here. The only time I'm going back to Washington State is to visit. I knew I had to get out of Washington State. I had to. The majority is gray clouds and raining all the time. I said, I can't take this anymore. I need the sun to re-energize me. I need to go out into the sun, feel that warm sun on my skin, and walk around. And right now is the perfect time. You know why? Because nobody's outside. They're inside. Nature is free. I'm telling you guys this right now. I can change your life forever. I can make sure this never happens to you again. You're going to have to let go of what you've been taught, though. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. But this is all I want you to do. If you still don't believe me, watch all the people that you admired, you looked up to, you thought had money. I want you to see them fall. They're going to fall. They're only going to be able to hold the facade for so long, and then it's going to teeter over and it's going to fall. And then I want you to wonder to yourself, how come they fell after a month? How come they fell after 2? I thought they were millionaires. That's a facade. NC Biggs says, you already changed mine. I already know that, NC Biggs. I know you don't notice, but you probably don't even notice that you talk different now too. Right now, you're still trying to convince, hey, man, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. I don't know why they're still, because they can't hear you, NC Biggs. You're Neil now. You're baby Neil, though. You're baby Neil. You're still coming in. You're still wondering why they're doing things. You're still wondering why they're saying things. You still wonder why, even if you tell them, they still don't listen, because they're in a debt matrix, NC Biggs. They can't hear you. I keep telling you that. Now, after a while, it's going to continue to blow your mind the further and further you get out of debt, NC Biggs. And then once you're out of debt, you're going to be like, okay, I'm tired of telling those people that. Yeah, one day you're going to just get tired of telling them. And then you're going to realize, Oh, I can be rich. Why? How? By doing the opposite of what they do. That's all you got to do. Just do the exact opposite. Oh, it's 77 in Mount Pleasant, huh? Okay. Man, look at that sky. Ooh, a little light breeze. I'm so excited to get out and walk with my girl. We're going to walk in this sun, soak that sun up. Look at that. I'm not even going to shave, man. I'm going to just go out and just enjoy. It doesn't matter how I even look. It don't even, check it out. You guys don't even get it. You can walk outside right now. It won't matter your shoes. It won't matter your clothes. It won't matter even the car you drive to get there. Nobody's paying attention to any of that. Mark says, people don't realize that when you are real, that is when your purpose shines. Yep, when your purpose shines. In this moment, you're here. You're here. You are here. You have a task and you know it. That's why it's hard to let your days go by unfulfilled. That's very hard for me. But you guys noticed that I took a few days off. I didn't do no videos because I was really thinking about how I was going to approach you guys with my next few videos. And this is how it's going to be here for here on out. It's going to be debt still, but it's going to be life purpose changing stuff too. I'm just saying it started here for me, and I'm showing you guys once you remove debt out of the way, your purpose will shine. It will. That's how it's going to work. Me and my woman's going to enjoy a nice walk around this beautiful park that I love to go to every single time. Love it. I'm excited to do it. And bro, this is from my little bro, Patrick Young, man. I want to let you know I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm so glad you listened to me. I wanted at least one of my family members to believe me. So now you got young children. You still have control over them to say, this is how we do money in this house. And I'm going to show you how to do it. No, we're not doing anything outside of this. If you choose to do this when you're grown, you can do it. But in this house, this is how we do money. And I'm going to show you. And then it's going to carry on with your children. If your kids don't listen, you're gonna be like, hey, oh well. This is the plus side about teaching your children about money this way. When they go out and don't listen to you and they go out in the world and mess up because they listen to everybody else in the debt matrix, this is what they're gonna do when they find out they did it wrong. Damn, my dad told me that. That's why my dad told me not to do this. That's why my dad told me not to get student loans and use the money for something else. That's why. Yep, he told me if I get student loans, if I don't pay them back, I'll be owing them until I'm dead. I'll be a slave until I'm dead. That's why he told me that. That's why he told me never to co-sign for somebody, because the reason why the bank won't give, there's a reason why the bank wouldn't give the person a loan, but you're going to override the loan and say, I'm going to do it anyway. That's why now you're paying for their loan, because the bank knew this person couldn't pay it. See? I would never co-sign for somebody ever. I would never co-sign for anybody. That's financial suicide. Well, I'm gonna leave this last 20 minutes for you guys to, if you want to chime in, if you want to say something during this time. There's the stream link if you want to jump in and say anything. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes. In the meantime, here's my email. Here's my Cash App for donations. Here's my PayPal for donations. If you want to visit my Facebook, that's my Facebook. I haven't changed the name yet, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to get away from Debt Ain't My Daddy. I'm going to change it to Savings Minus Debt here soon. If you want to share my channel, just say Google #savings-debt. Oh, excuse me. Hit that like button, please. Don't forget to subscribe. Here's my Instagram. I want to thank everybody that follows me. I want to thank everybody that believes in me, believes in what I do. Please don't forget to join the Discord server. It's in the description of the video. This is where the SMD family members are. We're trying to get more and more people to join the Discord server. Right now is the time to get my services for absolutely free. 2 SMD family members, Ulysses and Mike Rambo, they have donated 45 minutes each to 2 lucky members of the Discord, inside the Discord server and the SMD family. You can get my services for free because it was donated by people that believe. Ulysses DTN, for those of you guys don't know who that is. What's up, Mark?
Hey, what up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
All right. Yeah, not much. Just hearing your stream of consciousness, man, and it makes me think of literally. Exact what you said is exactly. I feel what happened to me because it wasn't life. I never really said like, oh, this is gonna happen in my life or that's gonna happen, but every pivotal turn that I saw brought me here. And I feel like it's going to take me somewhere farther, It's I don't know. It's like a purpose, a fundamental purpose that you come with. And it's like, we're going to do everything we can, everything possible in this world is going to try to get you to do what you have to do. But first and foremost, you just have to sit down with the truth of it. Like, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
And these are the steps that I have to take.
You got to trust it.
There.
You got to trust it. You really can't ask nobody. You can't ask nobody and say, hey, man, this voice in my head said I should do this. You can't ask nobody that. They're going to think you're nuts. They're going to think you're crazy.
That's it. That's it. But you just have to trust that whatever is going on the inside of you, whatever is telling you, like people say, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyway.
Yes, you hear that all the time. You hear that all the time. I'm glad you said that, Mark. You're right. Everybody says that.
I'm like, what? Just trust yourself enough. Trust yourself enough. Trust that there is truth in what you're saying and what's going on inside of you. Even though you don't know where it comes from, you don't really. It's kind of like there's a whole nother you that you just can't see.
Let me tell you what that is, Mark. That is now I understand this, and I'm going to say it to you guys now. This is the me right now was the person guiding me to this point. It was the future me telling me, this is where you're trying to get to. Just listen to my voice, and I'll bring you here to where I'm trying to get you to.
Right.
It prepared me for this moment, Mark. I kid you not. It prepared me.
Right. And man, I'm like you said, man, there's some fears associated with getting there. I think I'm like at a point where it's like there's some fear, but I know what I got to do. It's weird because it's like I've been running from it for a long time, it looks like, but I always knew.
Fear is telling you which way to go. It's not like we've been trained to run from fear, right? If you stop and turn around and look at fear, fear says, why are you running? This is the way to go. Why are you running from me? Right? That's what it says. So anytime I feel a fear, I go like this, Mark. Why are you here? Oh, because I'm supposed to go this way so I can see what's on the other side of you.
Right. And that's and it was crazy because you had mentioned that before, and I was like, man, he's right. I'm like, I've been running from this. Why don't I just confront it so that I can move on and I
move on and move to the next level? Yeah, man. I mean, how's your now? Tell me this, Mark. I'm trying to gather information from people in the midst of this chaos, but in the middle of their debt matrix, trying to get out of debt. How are you feeling right now? How is this affecting your process?
Honestly, knowing that, the nature of my job, I don't know whether, and nature of all jobs, you don't know whether you're going to have income coming in situations like this, whether you're going to be let go. So, I mean, I'm not discouraged. I just wish I saw it. And now I'm going to have to take a step back, I guess. But when I think about it, it's really not a step back if I'm going to be just saving the cash flow that I would be using to pay it off anyway. It's just a different point in time, I guess, that I'm going to pay it off, but it's still going to get paid off.
Well, right now, now that, say you lost your job, okay? Right now would be the time to file Chapter 7.
Right.
And then the only thing you were left, or you have student loans left. That's it.
Right.
Then it's going to be over. By the time you get another job, guess what? You go full force on those student loans. Right.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking of Chapter 7 my car, either that or just I don't want to sell it because I know I won't get I will get the most that I can, just so that I don't have to pay off a huge chunk of the loan that's left. But either way,
if you file Chapter 7, there won't be nothing left. What do you mean?
Right.
See how you stand? You got to think all the way ahead. There's not going to be a chunk left over because it's going to be included in the bankruptcy. Nothing's going to be left.
See, I was thinking about doing it anyway, regardless if I lost the job or not, just getting rid of the car.
See, this is the difference. Right now, with a job, you wouldn't get Chapter 7.
That's it.
I'll tell you right now, Mark, you would not get Chapter 7.
Yeah, that's it.
If you lost your job, voila, you get it.
That's true. That's true. I
know that's true? Because it happened to me in 2008. That's how I know it's true.
Man, I tell you what, it's perfect timing too. Because my brother, I feel like I just got to this point. I don't know how, but I just got here for a reason. Now that I'm here, I can disseminate some of that information to people who need it, who sorely need it. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's weird talking about it but at the same time too, it's refreshing because it's like it's about purpose. That's the only reason we're here is to fulfill a purpose. Otherwise, you beat out how many millions, billions of sperms, trillions of sperms to do what?
To do what? Exactly.
You got to do.
All of us raced to that egg, but you made it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's no mistake.
All the other ones just fell wherever they go.
Yeah.
Right now, and you could go to somebody that you know is upside down in their house. Right now is the best time to release themselves from that house. Right now is the best time. How many people think that'll listen to that? 0.
Right. I know.
Man.
I know. Hey, I still got I have a girl I took out. And I was actually trying to call her because she talked about refinancing her house. Her father told her not to do it. And I said the same thing, don't do it. But that was before this coronavirus thing came about.
Did she do it? Did she do it?
No.
Oh.
Not to my knowledge.
Gotcha.
So I was just gonna ask her, you didn't refinance the house, did you?
She's probably gonna do it more than ever right now because interest rates are low.
Yeah, well.
That's what's gonna happen.
Then it's a good thing that, it's cordial.
Yes. You wouldn't take it serious. I keep telling you, Mark, your whole dating life has changed now, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, it's crazy because
it won't matter how fine she is. None of that will matter. So she might be the finest thing on the planet. If she said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm $200,000 student loan debt," you're gonna be like, "Ooh, oh yeah."
It's crazy because I was sitting there at the date and I was just looking and I kept on asking her, so what are you gonna do about this debt? What are you gonna do? And the strangest thing happened. She was a very cool person to talk to, but then I started not enjoying myself, I guess, because I kind of knew the eventuality of things.
It's going nowhere.
It's going
nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was terrible.
And so funny at that point, Mark. Yeah, check it out. I don't know if you noticed this, right? After you make up in your mind, you know it's not going anywhere. You could just drop the facade of trying to impress her. You'd be like, okay, cool. We're just gonna be friends. So you paying for your half of the meal, or what? Well, if we go out to lunch, you got money for your half, right? Because I'm only paying for mine. You would have no problem saying that.
Yeah, at this point.
And then you're gonna be an a-hole. Oh, Mark's a prick. He always just he talks about double dutching. You pay for your own meal. He's a prick. No, it's not. You're in debt.
Oh man, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like it has been a real change. Because I don't know. Back before this, I knew for some reason, like I always wanted to do something, but there was always something that was holding me back.
What is it that you would love to be doing? What is that?
To be honest, I'd love to be a motivational speaker, man.
Okay, then make up your mind. That's what you want to do. Because I've been wanting to do that. Look where I'm at. I'm headed to that way.
That's true. That's true.
You can do it.
It's going to be a different, maybe not a totally different side to it, but it's going to be taking things from many different aspects of, I guess, spiritual. I kind of hate saying that, but just life.
Why? Why do you hate saying? Why do you hate saying that? Spiritual.
There's always this connotation. There's always this misconception.
You know what? Okay, I want you to make sure you hear what you're saying. That's the opinions of other people that don't, right? Once you drop that, once you stop caring about what other people think, especially people in debt, you pay no attention to them.
That's true.
Once you drop worrying about them, Mark, that's when you're going to shine.
Cool. Oh man, like I'm just waiting on it, man.
You see me, you see like best version, you see he's clearly open to talking about spiritual, right? I'm still working my steps up to, I know it exists, but I don't say it like best version motivation. See,
that's true.
But I'm going to get there. I'm going to tie it all together, Mark. I'm about to tie it all together.
It's going to be great to see, man. The future, not even the future right now holds so much.
Right now is prime time. Right now it's game time, Mark. It's game time right now, baby. Game time.
I'm gonna have to wait. For mine, but either way,
as long as you're back on the bench, long as you're on the team, Mark. Long as you're on the team, you know how people talk about NFL guys that don't even play and they're on the bench making more money that they'll ever make, but they be like, oh man, that dude just sit on the bench. You talking about the guy that makes triple the amount of money you make? You talking about that guy that's sitting there doing nothing? You're on the bench, Mark. Now, one time I'm going to turn around just like to you, Mark. I'm going to say, hey, Mark. Oh, you got off. I'm going to turn to you and say, Mark, it's game time. You ready to get in here? One day you're going to have to get in the game. Okay. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up. We got about 3 minutes and it's been 3 hours. I want to thank everybody that joined today's stream. Thank you so much. We're going to have more like it. If you guys want to, remember, if you want to join, Mark Jit's back on me. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, okay. Yeah, you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, sorry about that. I think I pressed something wrong. But yeah, I'm on the team.
I know you're on the team. I already know that.
I'm just not right there just yet. But
I'm looking back. I'm looking back at you and you're like,
no, don't call me here yet.
I see you back there warming up. You ready yet? No, I'm not ready.
Yeah, man. So let me just say thank you. As always, man. Thank you, man.
And you know what? Well, and thank you to you, Mark, for trusting me, a total stranger. I want to thank you for just trusting in me and taking my advice, becoming a client. Man, I want to thank you for doing that.
No, of course, man. You know what they say, real recognize real. So I knew you were being real from the get-go. So
thank you, man.
That's it. Ain't no problem.
Appreciate
Don't take it easy, all right?
All right, later.
All right.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up. Now, if anything pops up and you guys want to talk about something, especially during this time, I'm willing to, you bring up something, say, hey, LJ, would you mind jumping on and talking about this? Let me know. All right, send me an email, savings-debt.com. Okay. You guys, savings-debt.com. If you want to schedule a service with me, you go there, choose your service, pay, I'll get an alert, and then we'll just go from there. Okay. And again, I have a service that you can just talk to me. Okay. If you just want to, hey man, I got to ask you a whole bunch of questions within this hour. Write down all your questions and say, LJ, this is my situation. What should I do? And I'll tell you the answer. Okay. And every answer I give you, I'm gonna give you, it's going to be whatever I tell you, it's going to be legal. Okay. Nothing illegal. I'm not going to tell you to do anything that breaks the law. None of it. I'm going to tell you what to do legally. Okay. No illegal stuff whatsoever. All right. You guys have a good one. Appreciate you guys all. Until next time.